When we last left off, you had all
There was
in your
looting going
exploration.
on.
Yes, there was looting going on. In your explorations of the sunken citadel, you came across a chamber filled with giant rats, trapped statues, and pit traps all over. You also have come across what you think is the den of the giant rats. And strewn within it are a number of corpses that have been gnawed upon, all manner of filth and debris and detritus, and possibly an opportunity to go digging around to try and find said treasure.
Traveler and
Uh,
I are handling the looting.
yes. So, I have you both make a search check last time. Actually, that might be in chat. Let me check.
Yeah, I got a 19
I thought they
investigation.
did.
Okay, yes, you got an investigation, and oh, yep, there it is. And could Kaya also do an investigation?
Yeah, let me get my. Oops.
Give you guys a quick heads up. If I just disappear off of this and out of everything, it's internet here. I'm still in the country.
Oh yeah.
No problemo.
My okay. Sorry, my character sheet was ignoring me.
Oh, no problem.
In investigation, there we go.
Oof.
Oh, that was a
That
one.
sucked.
All right.
I just walked in the door, so I have no idea.
Yep.
What I'm doing.
And trip on a bone.
Yeah, probably.
All right. So the while you are both searching and the others are kind of investigating the other room, the statue, the traps, and so on. Yes, go ahead.
Can you please recenter the map because I can't find this?
Sure.
I've got a black screen. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. No problem.
Right, so they're headed through, and I have not yet.
Not yet. All right. So,
Uh-oh.
while you are digging through, yes. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, you kind of went blank there for a second mid-sentence.
Oh, no problem. All right. Traveler, while you're digging around among the bodies and the spoils, you come across a backpack. What is novel about this backpack is it's been treated with a resin, and this is not atypical by any stretch, but it definitely has left the leather unpalatable for the rats, so they haven't been chewing on it. So, I mean, it's covered in all manner of filth and rat turds and so on, but you kind of pick it up, and it's still sealed, and you're able to pop it open, and inside of it, surprisingly, is a water skin, some food, bedrolls, tinder boxes, 3 torches, all in relatively good condition, considering that some of the dead here seem like they've been here a while.
So it's basically like a Dungeoneer's pack?
That's what it
Or
looks
an
like,
Explorer's
yeah.
pack?
Probably a explorer's pack, kind of the equivalent. Water skin, a ration, bedroll, tinderbox, and 3 torches. The rations are probably okay, but eh.
Okay.
All right. Kaya, while you are kind of picking through, you find a small pouch. Actually, yep, you do. You find a small pouch.
Okay.
This is kind of tucked up in a corner, and so you kind of start searching the edges. Unfortunately, it seemed like most of the nice stuff had been kind of in the middle, but you do find a pouch. When you open, or I'm sorry, are you going to open the pouch?
Is there anything about the pouch that makes me think maybe I should have a magic user check it first?
Nothing about this seems out of the ordinary.
Okay, I'll open it.
All right. You find 17 gold pieces, mostly 10 gold pieces and a few silver. Well, actually, a platinum, a couple silver, and a bunch of gold, and a gold ring.
And that was with a natural 1.
Oh, actually, I take that back. You did not find the gold ring. Crap. Sorry. Ignore that. You just found a pouch of coins.
It was an onion ring.
It was an onion ring. Yep.
Okay. How long do I need to concentrate or whatever to try again?
So that was about 10 minutes of searching.
Okay.
Back at the other room, the party has kind of finished, kind of poking around the fountain, and you have restrained your kobold to prevent him from uttering the words of death. And you hear in the adjacent room, party members kind of shuffling through debris. You hear kind of the sounds of things being tossed and so on. What is everyone going to do? Starting in the, I guess, top and upper right and down. So that would be Anubis.
If it makes it easier, Sean, I usually go in order of the names at the bottom of the screen in lieu of an initiative or something like that.
That's not a bad idea.
I'm screwed. I'm always going to be last.
we will swap. We'll flip flop the
first.
order. How about that? We'll
No,
flip
it's all
flop the
good.
order from
I'm
time
just
to time. I
messing
think.
with you. I'm not mad. I'm
All
like,
right.
She chooses.
All right. So who did you say was first, Sean? I apologize.
Let's do that. That's not a bad idea. So Kaya, what are you're gonna do another round of
What's
searching?
Kaya gonna do?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Kaya,
continue
if
to
you
search
want,
so I can
we could actually,
roll
if you
again.
want, if you want, we could team up. I've got because I chose investigation as an expertise skill, I get bonuses to it. My bonus is +7 to investigation. So if you want to assist me with an investigation roll, it would give me advantage, and we can just share the loot.
Okay, that sounds fine. Because I just came in to help you anyway, so we could get it done.
Because
All
now
right,
that Sean
Trevor.
accidentally mentioned that gold ring, I'm not leaving here till I roll enough to find it.
All right.
Consider me helping.
Make a investigation check with advantage. Vosh, what are you going to do?
Oh
Let me
shit!
see
I
here.
forgot to click advantage.
Have I already searched the little room where we're in right now? Where I'm at right now?
No one has done any searching in this room yet.
Okay. let me
The
do
only
an
thing you're
investigation.
aware of is the pit traps and the statue with draconic writing on it.
Okay. Well, we know not to mess
Wait,
with the Draken.
didn't Anubis read it?
Anubis read it but did not say it.
Because we
and
know
then-
that you'll say it out loud.
And when Glob ran up to it to go look at it, she kind of covered his mouth so that he wouldn't utter the words accidentally as well.
And I just asked, oh yeah, and then I asked her, and then we never got to the end of it. I asked her, is it good or bad?
Oh yeah. So Anubis, what do you say to Zariel's query about is it good or bad?
Like I'm
We're not
trying to
speaking
figure
it
out,
aloud.
is it good or
It's
bad?
It's a spell. We're not speaking it aloud.
Okay. I appreciate the clarity, but I think we were asking what Vosh is going to do, right?
Yes.
Yes.
What's the
Yeah. So, you know what? I'll move into. Well, you guys have got the little treasure area covered.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me. Last time I failed on this, but let me make another athletics check and see if I'd be able to secure a rope to investigate one of the pits.
Sure.
All right. Let me pull up my sheet here. Is it acrobatics or athletics?
Athletics. So a 9.
Well, I am just a klutz.
Yeah, for try as you might to try and find a nice, secure way to secure it to these doors, it just isn't working out. Just the shape of the doors and how they're kind of laid out.
Right.
Anubis,
Yes.
what were you going to do?
I am unclear on whether we're not supposed to be following the traveler. And so Anubis is just going to hold himself in position and covering the door.
Okay.
Can I go ahead and move?
Yes, wherever you'd like.
That way he can see through. Did I just cover somebody? No, there's an
Nope.
icon on the thing, but not a person. Okay. Then yeah, so he's just going to move and hold any action that he might take so that he's covering the room and hopefully covering companions coming back through.
All right. All right. Looking down the hallway, actually, what can you see? Glop is there with you. Looking down the hallway, you do see that kind of orangish light still kind of emanating from the fountain down the hallway, that first fountain.
Okay. It doesn't appear to be increasing. It's just still hanging out there.
Yeah, pretty much. It's not
We
doing
haven't
anything.
had the whoosh that sucks all the oxygen out yet.
Nope, there hasn't been a whoosh or a nothing untoward has happened yet.
Hope y'all are prepared for that backdraft, by the way.
No shit.
All right.
All right, and then Glob is essentially going to kind of take up a position to kind of watch down the hallway as well, just to make sure nothing crazy happens. All right, so Traveler and Kaya, your investigation, again, kind of tossing everything and kind of collecting it. What you're finding is there are tons of coins that are kind of scattered throughout the refuse. And it will take some time to kind of sort through this. You might be looking at almost like 20 minutes to a half an hour to kind of really toss the room.
I'm not too interested in coins.
What you do find,
I'll
though.
pick them up.
All right.
I like shiny shit.
So you, at the conclusion of about 20 to 30 minutes, I'll tell you how much you pick up. What you do find, though, is it becomes kind of evident that one of the bodies who might have been attached to the backpack that you saw or that you kind of uncovered, you have a sneaking suspicion that this was a ranger. There's a bow nearby that was kind of chewed through, and what the final thing that you uncover that kind of illuminates who this individual is you find a gold ring on the body, kind of underneath one of the gloves, which had kind of been chewed through. And when gold ring, you kind of pull it off, you see some writing on the inside of the ring.
Can I read it?
Yes, you can. It is in common.
And what does it say?
To Caracas, my dear, or to Caracas, my dear brother, may the wind be always at your back and the sun in your eyes.
Yikes.
Does anybody have an identify spell?
Caracas was one of the rangers in the adventuring party that we were looking for.
Correct.
They were made up of Callaghan of Hookrill, Sharwin, the Paladin of Pelors for Brentford, and the Ranger Caracas.
I forgot.
We've located
about
one of the dead. And if we've located one of the dead, there's a chance that some of his companions are here as well. Maybe not a guarantee, but it might be worth looking at those pits.
Okay. If no one has any objections, I will just go ahead and pocket that for proof to our client later.
I don't even know, so...
Are you going to share with us what you found?
Eventually, yeah.
All right.
Well, I very loudly asked, is that the dude we're looking for? So,
Well, I guess it's up to the traveler to answer.
Traveler, when Kaya asks you that, what do you say?
I say, If his name was Caracas, then it is the person we were sent to find.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Nifty.
If name was occupant, no.
If game was occupant, then no.
Sorry, Rob. I couldn't resist.
It had to happen. It had to happen.
His
Oh,
accent
God.
still very thick. My apologies.
All right. Kaya and Traveler, while you have been also digging through there, you uncover a total of 312 silver pieces, 68 gold pieces, 3 gems of indeterminate cost and price, studded leather that was also treated in the same fashion as the backpack and so has not been destroyed, 5 daggers, a longbow that will probably need to be restrung, a quiver with 6 arrows, and a potion you might have to make an intelligence check on that one, as well as the pouch and the ring.
Okay. I will leave my thing is an investigation, so I will leave that up to our resident magic people. Um, how much gold did you say? You said 312 silver, 3 gems. What else?
68 gold.
68 gold. All right.
Glob asks if he could look at the potion. He might be able to identify it.
Okay. I will.
I start making 5 little piles of coins.
Well,
Thank
or is it
you.
going to be 6? Because isn't there a pile for the church as well?
No,
The what?
No, because I take what I get and then I roll my dice and I put my tithe out of my winnings.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Yeah, I don't take from the party.
No.
And nobody's
Glob.
asked me why I'm off in the corner rolling dice after I get my portion.
Nope.
Glob-
Just as an aside, I think that's a really cool character detail, Jeff. I really
Yeah.
do. I like that.
I really think it is
Oh.
too.
Thanks. Well, my God is a gambler.
He gets what he gets.
And
Glob,
it isn't fair to take from the party. I only take from my portion because that's what's fair.
Just draw a circle in the ground, throw it all in the air, and what lands inside is his. But
Glob takes a potion from you, and he kind of looks at it, and like even like there's a moment of recognition when he sees the bottle. He uncorks it and sniffs it and corks it again. This is a healing potion. I know because this is made in town by one of the alchemists.
Well, damn.
and what level of healing potion is it? Or can he
Ooh,
tell
good
me?
question. You are under the impression that this would be a roll a d20.
But Sean, you would be right. It would be 6. It would be 6 because there's a portion.
It's not a toy. It's not a toy. Let it
Oh,
go.
Jesus.
Let it go.
Yeah, it is a common 2d4 plus 2.
Oh,
Alrighty.
sorry. I got my little one in my lap. My
Oh, no
apologies.
So, I will come out to the party and say, okay, here is what I find. I will hold out the Explorer's Pack, see if anyone wants that.
And as a quick aside, the humanoid corpses you found in that room were really 2 goblins, a kobold, and this human male who you identified as possibly being someone wearing a ring belonging to Caracas the Ranger.
So they didn't do too badly for themselves when you count the number of what isn't expected to have been in their party.
Oh, one last thing. Could someone make a healing check?
Medicine?
Yes.
That'd probably be you, Kaya. I'm not in the room anymore.
Yeah, there you go.
Kaya, you have done enough damage to others to kind of recognize this.
Sorry
It
about
is
that.
pretty evident by the puncture wounds in the ranger's armor that he was not killed by rats. He was, in fact, run through.
Eek.
I assumed that the rats drugged him in
Betrayal.
their lair.
Probably, yeah. Like they found a tasty thing, or they were fed this by the denizens of the dungeon. You're not sure which.
Yeah.
Can I try to do what Bosch was doing? I'm sorry, I had to go away to help out.
Sure. Go ahead and make a athletics check. What you're doing is trying to cinch up a rope to climb down into the pits. Okay, with the 17, you're able to kind of get.
No fair.
Yeah.
Right? Jealousy.
Well, he's a bounty hunter. He's good at tying knots. This is kind of in his
Hunting out
wheelhouse.
beds.
Yeah.
You're
So
my world, boy.
you climb down into one of the pits, and there are a few rat corpses, mostly ones that you threw down there yourself. From what you can kind of tell, most of the bodies that are down there are ones that you put there. Anything else looks like it was probably dragged out by the rats, and it's kind of evident by some of the marks on the wall and a couple stray rat claws that are kind of still stuck in the stonework. The rats could easily climb in and out of these pits, and so as individuals fell in or whatever, they were kind of dragged out. And you can even find some scraps of armor that belonged to kobolds that was dragged out. Like the armor was left, but the body was dragged out to be feasted on in the other room. Unfortunately, throw me investigation check.
A what?
Investigation.
Sorry, I was.
No problem. It looks like there's no treasure.
I got my
in...
Sherlock Holmes on.
Nice. Sadly, there is no treasure in the pits.
Really, you had to do that. You couldn't give me something like a little bit of silver just for my Sherlock Holmes comment.
No. D&D is a cold mistress, cruel mistress. From what you can tell,
I could only think of one finger for him.
Sadly, nothing in there. There's just scraps of leather, a little bit of bone here and there, but there's no real treasure. Generally, it seems like the rats would drag the bodies, whatever bodies, out of the pits to go eat them later, and it doesn't look like any coins were spilled or anything was lost in that. You do find some arrowheads, but the arrowheads are of goblin construction.
So I have there's no hint down here about anybody that we're looking for.
Nope. And the bodies that you uncovered in the other room, there were no humanoids. I'm sorry, no humans. It was just goblinoids and kobolds. All right. So at this point, a half an hour has kind of gone by.
Mm-hmm.
You've kind of tossed the room with the bodies in it, and short of the fountain and two traps in here, this room is kind of that you're in right now is kind of is barren of anything interesting or useful.
Really
What would you
quick,
all like to do now?
I want to get through sorting out some of this loot.
Sure.
Getting it distributed out to anyone who wants or needs it. Does anyone want the Explorer's Pack?
I believe I actually already have one.
It's basically a bedroll, a mess kit, a tinderbox, 10 torches, 10 days of rations, a water skin, and 50 feet of hemp rope.
This is it. It is not a complete set. All it has is a water skin, 1 days of ration, a bedroll, a tinderbox, and 3 torches,
Okay.
and a treated leather backpack, which at least rats won't eat.
So we're looking for his rope somewhere. Might tell us where the rest of them are. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm good without it. If you want to carry it for salvage or for sale.
I mean, resale. They're worth 10 gold pieces new. Used, we might get maybe a gold piece for the backpack. That's about
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not, because we're at the beginning of this. I'm still in the. I'm only picking up blue or better. I'm here. I just have to run away for just a split second.
So I
No
will go
problem.
ahead and leave that behind. It's not worth the encumbrance.
There were
Kaya's-
6 arrows in the quiver.
Yeah, Kaya's dealing with all the coins and gems and stuff. I'll hold on to the ring. Anyone want the studded leather?
I do not.
Excellent. We'll leave that behind. Um, I will, if no one has any objections, hold on to the 5 daggers.
No objections.
I can use those as projectile weapons. Quiver of 6 arrows.
I believe Anubis is an arrow user.
What do you think, Anubis?
She had to walk away. I will pick up the quiver and take it with me and ask Anubis later if he wants it.
Now,
And
the big one, the potion of healing.
Oh,
Why are we rolling initiative?
I don't know. Reasons.
great.
Oh, we're rolling initiative?
No, the DM is rolling it for us.
thank you, DM. At least
You're
I got
welcome.
a decent one.
Because there's mystery.
Mm.
I'm gonna salvage the extra tinderbox out of the pack we're leaving behind.
Oh, there was. Oh, yeah, there is a tinderbox. Go for it.
Yep.
And what I'm doing right now for the turn order is while you guys are marching down the hall, whoever's going to be in the front, we'll put them in order and then allow you guys to free 30-foot move or combat move with that. So I'm just putting it up right now. If it's in your way, double click on the title bar, and that will minimize it for now. But this is just so as you guys are moving through the Citadel, we can kind of move your tokens in order of marching order.
Okay. Who should get the healing potion?
Zariel tends to be the tank, so it's either
Yeah.
him or it's Kaya.
Give it to Zariel.
Cool.
Well,
Okay.
I've got actual healing abilities,
That's true.
Okay.
so it
I'll take
should
it.
go to the person who wouldn't have it as much.
Okay, so Kaya.
Glob says, I'm a good healer too, so I don't need it.
So Kaya, go ahead and put 1 healing potion, or 1 common healing potion in your inventory.
Well, right at the moment, I can't get my page to respond to me because my mouse is apparently broken. So, I'll do that as soon as I can.
Do you want me to add it to your character sheet?
That would be nice if you would add the tinderbox and the healing potion because I can't expand my character sheet to write on it.
No problem.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so next, how do we want to handle this fountain? Because we do kind of have the idea that activating these fountains kind of opens up new areas. It acts as kind of a key. How do we want to deal with this?
So the thing that got you into a new area was actually a doorway. So far, none of the fountains have actually opened an area. This hallway was open when you first activated that first fountain, opposite of the big stone doorway.
Well, I do have a theory that these fountains do serve some kind of purpose, and their activation is needed further down the road somewhere. Um,
It does appear that their activation is tied to speaking the words that are etched into the basins of the fountains.
what do you guys think? Should we leave it for now and come back if we hit a dead end and need to?
That's kind of how I feel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
let's try not to have.
You
any
have
more
the
death
letter,
traps
right?
Than we need.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Henry, do you want a
Alright.
cookie?
So now, because
take
this
one
is
for
kind of
Rocco.
a dead end, we need to double back a little bit. Where do we want to go from here?
Henry, is that how you do it?
We
Go and
did
take
have
this
a
one.
few unused doors back in that room with the fire pit and the cage that we didn't explore. Plus an open hallway that went further down from that room as well. Should we double back and go check that out?
Sounds like a plan.
All right. What is your marching order as you proceed?
I'll take somewhere near the middle.
Okay.
I'm the tank. I'll go first.
All right.
as a general rule, Anubis brings up the rear unless otherwise specified by someone else.
Oh, Anubis, I have this quiver.
I'll
of
go
some
side by
arrows.
side with whoever the other tank is.
Okay.
Mikey?
So your current marching order is Kaya, Zoriel, the Traveler, Vosh, Glob, and Anubis. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Anubis, I saved these arrows that we found. If you want them,
Absolutely, thank you.
I will hand
Cool.
you the quiver.
So
Add
6 arrows to your inventory.
Yep, these are 6 good quality arrows, definitely of human construction. And by the way, Zariel, did you take any of the arrowheads that you found in the pit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
Go for it. So you have a half dozen goblin arrowheads.
That's
Cool.
money.
And
Meh.
I have made 6 little piles of coins.
Oh, that's right.
And
I know I got money earlier on, I think in last game, but I didn't add. I haven't added anything just because I either type things in or I get to play the game.
Okay, so how much money is in what Kaya found?
So I made piles for each of us, plus Glob gets a pile. I tried to make them as even as possible.
Glob gets lured.
Glob gets loot. Glob is part of party. And I have the 3 gems, which I don't know if they're good for magic making, but I know that magic making people need gems. So I did not put them in the piles. And so
Yeah,
I will
those should be appraised before they get divided
Yeah.
among.
Would you like me to carry them until we get to town and can have someone look at them?
Yep.
Okay, I will keep them. And they are party loot, and I will keep them aside.
Okay, Sean, so how much?
In total, you found 312 silver pieces, 68 plus 17 gold pieces. That includes the pouch of gold.
68 plus 17, you said?
Yep. And then the 3 gems and the gold ring.
And I assumed that the traveler was keeping the gold ring to show to the client later.
Yeah. Okay, so that's
So between 6 people, it's 52 pieces of silver apiece. How many pieces of gold?
I'm working that out now.
68 plus 17.
And then 14 gold for each person plus 1.
The leftovers can go into the Raised Dead Fund.
Yes.
Is that like bail money?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
That'll go into the bail fund.
Sean, can you add that to my page since I can't actually
Sure.
access my fucking
No problem.
page worth of damn right now?
So you said, let's see, that was
I'm
52
sorry.
silver, and then how many gold per person? Sorry?
That should
I
be in
typed
chat
it
right
in
now.
the chat.
Oh, okay. 52 silver and 14 gold each. And then we have a raised dead fund of 1 gold. And we'll have more once we get back to town because we'll have the gems to do something with.
Yep. All right. So once you have divvied up the loot and kind of picked yourselves up, did you want to take a short rest or was it necessary?
I'm still good. I haven't lost any hit points or used any special abilities yet, so I'm good, but I don't know
Yeah,
about
I
everyone
didn't
else.
rage or anything. So
All right, cool. So go ahead and stack up in the hallway
I was gonna
in your march order.
I wouldn't mind a short rest to renew my healing prayers, what have you. But would I need a long rest to do that, actually?
It should say in the ability description.
Let's see here.
I'm going to recommend that we rest when we're back out and on the other side of that fire thing.
Okay, I'll go with that. That's fine.
All right, go ahead and move your tokens. Zariel and Vosh, your
Oh, yeah,
party
sorry.
has left without you?
Trying. My
Oh,
son's
I'm
in
trying
the
to
lab.
get this. Mine's
Okay,
more harder to work.
So the
Ooh.
folks who entered into the room with the first fountain,
Yes.
as you're passing by the stone doorway, you do kind of glance in the room opposite, a altar with a light source on it. And the orange liquid is still kind of collecting inside the fountain, but nothing is smoking or sizzling or anything like that.
Oh, that's right. I did make a note.
Where are we?
I did make a note in my book that I wanted to inspect this room later when we came back towards it.
And then go ahead.
Yep, same.
okay.
Okay, so
All right. So in turn order, starting from the room of the fountain, Kaya, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm going to go into the altar room and look around and see what I can see.
Okay.
And all that
Inside.
you could see, and all that you could see. Sorry.
In this room, what room is this? This is room. Oh, that room. So 5 dusty sarcophagi, 3 to the north and 2 to the south, stand on end in this silent chamber. Each of the carved stone coffins resembles a noble, elf-like humanoid in robes. An altar with images of dragons carved into its black obsidian is set in the center of the west wall. A single candle burns brightly on the altar. Next to the candle are a small whistle and a crystal flask. Really quick, who else is in the room with Kaya right now?
Vosh?
and a silver flask, you said?
Crystalline. Yep. Glob and Glop will stand watch in the other room. All the while, Glob is kind of kind of poking at the glowing orange fluid and kind of scritching his chin, trying to figure out what it is.
Actually, I'm gonna call Glob in here.
Well, okay. And Glop will keep watch. Zariel, what were you going to do?
I'll watch the door so that if the door gets ready to close, somebody's there.
All right. So, okay. It's right there. And someone's whisperingly. Oh, wait, once just real quick. All right. So,
not to quote a very cheap play that I saw many years ago, I've got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, me
So,
too.
I would just be wary, folks.
all right.
Yep.
So, so that is what you see. What would you all like to do?
Do I recognize
Give me a second, I'll be right back.
anything is significant about the altar or the objects on it, either through arcane knowledge or religious knowledge?
You could use a religion check on either the altar or the sarcophagi to determine their history. So that would be your action if you wanted to do that.
All right, let me go ahead and do that.
Kaya, what would your action be?
I'm gonna try investigate again because I'm not smart enough to know I suck at it.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Ooh. Hello.
Nice job.
Well, for somebody who sucks at it, doesn't really suck that much.
Well, I failed my first investigation check today, so you know.
All
Maybe
right.
you just needed that
John,
bad
do
one
you
out
want me to roll? I'm clear across the room from what she's checking, so I'm not sure I even know.
You are all welcome to do investigation checks to act on anything in the room. I'm just doing this concurrently to see what everyone's doing. Don't ask me why. I have reasons.
I am going to do an investigation around that altar
Rolled a
to check for traps.
You're checking for traps. Perfect. Vosh is doing an investigation check. Glob and Glop, or actually, Glop is standing watch. Glob, you called him in there. Did you say why?
Once I inspect around this altar to make sure everything's on the level, I'm gonna have him do a little arcana on the items on that altar.
Sean, I whispered
Take a step back.
my religion check to you.
Okay. Oh, cool. Great. All right. And is that everybody? And then you're standing watch out there. Okay. So, starting with Vosh, do you want me to whisper what you find out, or do you want me to just tell you?
You can just tell us.
Okay. So, Vosh, as you're kind of looking at the sarcophagi and just kind of checking religion, it is no doubt that these are possibly old priests or guardians, more likely some kind of temple guardians who are entombed in these sarcophagi. There definitely is some scripture on here that even in death, their duties are not discharged. So there's some kind of interesting language around that. But then the rest of it is just kind of your typical dragon cult kind of malarkey, which you're kind of getting used to seeing kind of etched here and there.
Well, I'm going to advise the party that based on the nature of the spell we used to open this door and the language of the scripture, I suspect that the contents of these sarcophagi are not resting quietly. So we should be cautious in case our actions rouse them. I don't know. Call me suspicious.
Anubis, you are you take note that the dust in here is undisturbed and has been undisturbed for decades.
Okay.
You're not seeing anything out of the ordinary in the room, except, of course, the sarcophagi. Traveler, you do not see any traps around the altar.
Cool.
There's nothing behind it, nothing around the corners. If it is trapped, it's trapped magically. And Zariel, from your vantage point, nothing has really changed in the room as they've entered and started kind of looking around. Kaya, you were investigating. You were just doing a search of the room, right?
Just sort of observing the room, and my observation is, how is there a lit candle on the altar when all we've seen so far is rats? Have they learned to light candles?
There is something preternatural about this candle.
Does somebody with magic skill want to go over there and look at that and tell me how the rats lit that motherfucker?
That is why I brought
Sure.
Glob into the room.
All right. So at that point, you guys do some searching. You ask Glob to take a look at the candle. Glob kind of leans in on it. He's kind of careful not to touch the altar, and he says, "Well, it looks like a continual light spell of some kind. Sometimes it can be orbs, sometimes it can be open flames."
How long do those things generally last? Like, when was that thing lit?
Centuries.
Oh my God, Neb.
A couple millenniums.
All right. At this point, in order again, Kaya, did you want to do anything else? So far, you guys have kind of searched the room. Nothing bad has happened yet.
I'm feeling superstitious, so I'm gonna stay right here where I am, in proximity to the door, so I can, keep anything from coming in that shouldn't, or throw everyone out of the door should that be needed.
Got it. Okay. Zariel, you're standing on the other side of the door. You're just kind of watching in and out as people are kind of looking around and investigating the room. What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna keep an eye out. Like, there's not really much to do, but I'm on the ready just in case something does come out, like something bad does happen, whether it's me running at it or something like that.
If
So
something
something-
comes out of those coffins, I'm attacking that shit.
So something bad is happening. From your vantage point, Glop has climbed. He's landed on the ground, and is kind of leaning over the edge of the fountain, and is kind of playing in the glowing orange water or fluid. I guess it's not water; it's a fluid.
I turn to Glove and go, "Get the hell out of there!"
Get out!
What the hell are you doing?
Okay, I have to make a dexterity check because if you startle it, it might fall in. Hold on, let me check this real quick. Oh, okay, all right. You startle Glob, who falls in, but then splays out its feet and arms and wings, and is just hovering, and it's kind of caught itself right over the puddle of glowing fluid, and is slowly trying to walk its way out of it so as not to fall in.
I tell him to get over here. Get over here.
All right.
Do I need to run over there and rescue that thing?
We know last time we got near it, it got bigger.
So are you actually going to go adjacent to Glop and help him out, or see what he's seeing?
You want to know what? I'm gonna go adjacent to Glob. I'll go help out Glob.
Okay. So I'm sorry, go ahead. You move over to him. You kind of grab, and it's easy just to grab him and kind of lift him up. He's kind of like the size of a cat. It's at that point that something happens. All of the sarcophagus lids essentially fall forward with a loud kind of bang sound, and a number of creatures appear.
Uh-huh.
In the room. Everyone roll initiative. Actually, let me clear the
Did
turn
you
order.
put an initiative out for us?
No, you guys have to re-roll it here before you.
No.
There we go. Okay.
Thank you. I ordered. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna mute myself. I apologize.
Oh, no problem.
Boom goes the dynamite. Ugh.
Token layer.
Yeah. No. I hate you, Sean.
Dude,
This is the
what I was
DM's
waiting
job.
for. I was waiting for things to come out of the sarcophagus so I could hit some shit.
Hey, it's not a D&D session unless you get to kill some shit.
All right.
Right on.
It's
And-
never a D&D session when I always get the crappiest roll.
And I am right on the front fucking lines. Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right.
It's about time you did something for us.
Squeeze me.
I don't see much fighting done by you.
Vosh, did you roll initiative?
I did.
Oh, did you have yourself clicked when you did it?
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
I don't think I did.
always
I
forget to do
didn't.
that.
Oh,
I'm
I
sorry.
did.
I'm a nut job.
It's like, damn it, I was clicked. Crap.
Let's see.
I don't think
Dun,
I
dun, dun.
was. But...
Boy, half of us really rolled shitty.
But it sort of averages out because we did so poorly that we're mostly all going at once.
Wow. 5 undead. That's great.
Hey, this is
Wait,
your
wait,
time
wait.
to shine, Vosh. You and Zoriel.
I'm gonna. That's
What do you
right.
mean?
You get turn.
My time
got
to
turned on.
shine.
You're a paladin. You got turn undead like me. You goofball.
I'm way over here, and I'm the last person to move.
Oh my god.
All right.
And the DM
So,
laughs. Sorry.
Yeah, the DM got my hopes up with the initiatives he rolled.
I'm gonna have to burn the cooldown.
all right. So Glomp is the first to go. Zariel, as you kind of fished him up and all that, he's kind of righted himself and has heard the banging sounds in the other room and is kind of got this concerned, quizzical look on his face and leaps out of your hands
No.
into the room to see what he can do. And that is his action. Then a skeleton gets to go. Where are the skeletons? Hold on.
Where are the skeletons?
Oh, what the hell happened? Don't do that. All right, there we go. Each of the skeletons have ceremonial blades of some kind, and they make attacks. This one is adjacent to you, Traveler, and makes an attack. Fuck. Does a
Well, I guess
24
that's
hit?
karma.
In more ways than one. So that does 24 does hit, correct?
Well, it's a natural 20.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. So you take 10 points of ceremonial dagger damage.
Alrighty.
And all the while, it utters something kind of wistfully whisper-like and draconic, which unfortunately you do not understand.
Somebody in this room does.
Oh, yeah, someone does, though. Anubson, do you want me to whisper to you what the skeletons are whispering as they attack?
I'm a little alarmed by that, but if you would like to tell us what they're saying, sure. Since it may be relevant to my biggest fear behind me and around the corner.
All right. The next
Okay.
skeleton, who is adjacent to the traveler, also attacks, but this time misses.
Big time.
And then
Big
Anoopson, you are up.
See that guy?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
I hit the wrong button. Hold on. Here we go.
I
I was clicking it in my gear instead of clicking it in the attack, so it's doing nothing. I'm like, what?
All right.
Is that high enough?
It is high enough. Go ahead and roll damage. All right.
I have his attention now, so it might be bad for me, but
The arrow strikes it and kind of glances off of a rib bone.
Thank you.
But you definitely did injure it with that hit. It kind of stands erect, stands erect a little bit and looks at you with just kind of this dead, vacant look, like it's readying itself to attack you next. And actually, that did drag aggro off of it. Anoopson, it moves towards you. Vosh, it has not left your threat area, so it does not provoke an attack of opportunity. And then it tends to reciprocate against your attack and does 8 points of damage. I'm sorry, your AC is it hits with a 19. Does that hit? Anoopson? Anubis?
sorry, I'm trying to 15. So
15? Yep.
Yeah.
You take 8 points of damage.
Ouch.
We're gonna need that short rest after all, guys.
Oh, I knew we would. I just want to get away from the fire.
Fire bad.
Okay, that did not work the way I expected it to. My health does not seem to be in here. So typing -8 left me at -8. So hold on.
Oh.
22. Is
Nope,
it
and while
supposed to
you're-
be in the red?
You can put it in either block you like. Right now, your tokens aren't bound to a hit point. Yeah, let me fix that real quick. So let me bind that to your HP. All right, now you can try.
So now when I click it and type -8
Yep,
and hit enter, it should be, yep, -8. There we go.
cool. All right.
Not that I really want to be -8.
Yeah, I
but
know.
that way it was tracking it.
Really quick, I'm gonna make an intelligence check for Glock, and he fails. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Vosh, you're next. And what is
that
click
clapping
sound?
noise?
I have no idea. It's not me.
I am not sure.
Okay. Well, all right. It's tough. Vosh, you're up. You
It's
are
Canadian
surrounded.
Rob. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm joking. I have no idea who it was, but I am going to turn undead.
Ooh, excellent. Roll it.
Okay, let me see. How do I do that? That's
Let's see here. You will channel divinity.
I think you have to make a wisdom saving throw, or they do, don't they?
You, as an action, you present your holy symbol and speak a prayer censuring the undead. Each undead that can see or hear you within 30 feet must make a wisdom saving throw. If the creature fails its saving throw, it's turned for 1 minute or until it takes any damage. Turned creatures must spend its turn trying to move away from you as it can and can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you. It also can't take reactions. For this action, you can only use dash actions to try and escape. or try to escape from effects that are preventing it from moving. If there's nowhere for it to move, the creature can use dodge actions. And then what is the save? I guess it'd just be your wisdom.
I think the creatures have to make the wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the target number is. Okay, that's silly. What is your spellcasting DC?
Spellcasting. You've confused me. I'm sorry.
If you go to your spells page,
Yep.
it'll be at the very top in those 3 gray boxes, right in the middle.
13. Spell save DC is 13.
13? All right. So we get blam, 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 blam. Okay. All right. So let's start in the order of initiative that we've had thus far. That is rebuked. Oh, not that. So let's see here. That one is that guy got a 1. He's definitely rebuked. And sorry, what was your DC save?
13.
13? Okay, so not rebuked. Rebuked. And not rebuked. Okay. You call upon Bane and say, "Useless dead people, be gone." But there is no conquest in defeating you. You're already dead. You essentially
You are not essential workers.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
No
No,
problem.
that was gold.
All right. So you have rebuked undead. You still have a move if you want to take it. Although the one that's adjacent to you was not rebuked and could make an attack of opportunity on you if it decided to do so.
As long as he stays within the hit box, he'll be okay.
Vosh, did you have any other actions or any movement?
Let me see here. Sorry. Just
No
looking at my options on my little sheet here. I have a cantrip that I could use.
Now, cantrip or that should have taken an action. So unless your cantrip is a reaction or a free action or a bonus action.
Oh, I was looking for my bonus action stuff. I'm sorry.
Oh, got it. Cool.
Let's see. I'll hold off for now. Thanks.
No problem. All right. Kaya, you are up.
Okay, the nearest undead thing to me, which is Caddy Corner up.
Yep. Does not appear to be rebuked by the power of Bane. The power of Bane compels you.
Okay. I am suddenly regretting not having taken any levels of cleric to Oldamara. God damn it, or Oldamara, damn it, as the case may be.
You
So
can say
I will-
Oldamara, damn it, and it might empower your blows to defeat this
Oldamara,
undead.
damn you! May the roll be ever against you. Since it doesn't appear to be rebuked, I can therefore attack it. Yes.
Yes, you can.
And so,
and it is visible to everyone that some of the undead were cowed by the power of Bane, and then it's pretty obvious the two that are closest to the door have not been cowed or rebuked.
so do I need to move forward in order?
No, you can.
I can attack from where I am.
Yes, you can.
Okay. So I will yell the cry of my people, which was taught to me by someone who wasn't my people.
Give me my $2.
Keep keep the
Actually,
cards on the table.
it's actually Fearty bitch at the top of my lungs, and I will short sword that,
All right.
that dude. I will
I
short sword
forgot the
that dude.
relationship.
Sadly, your sword blow does glance off the ceremonial armor of these guardians. There's a kind of a spark and clang
Ah.
as you strike up against this undead.
Then I will just wait for my next turn to hit him again.
All right.
And I will continue to hit that bastard until I can dance on his non-entrails.
All right. This cowed undead tries to get as far away from Bane as possible, which is sadly only 5 feet. This one is adjacent to you, Kaya, and decides to return the blow. You definitely dodged this sword strike. Ceremonial blade goes swinging through the air, but connects with nothing. Glob is like, "Ah!" And I'm gonna make an intelligence check real quick. Glob knows better, right? Glob knows better. Yeah, he did fine. He understands not to attack any of the cowed undead. He steps back, and then turns around and lobs a eldritch bolt into the one adjacent to you, Kaya.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Connects and does 7 points of damage.
Ouch.
The glowing bolt connects with the undead, kind of clipping it and causing it to spin a little bit. However, does not seem to do a surprising amount of damage, though it did seem more effective than the arrows that Anubis used. Traveler, you are up.
Okay.
The
Thanks.
the
Thank-
undead adjacent to you are cowed. They don't appear
Yeah.
like they'll attack you.
Well, and they can't take reactions, so I can move without provoking attacks of opportunity.
Correct.
I am going to thank God for Bane, because now I don't have to blow my cooldown. I am going
Oh,
to.
do you hear that, Vosh? You might have some converts.
Oh no.
Bane appreciates you.
The Raven Queen continues to watch over me, no doubt about that. And then nestle my way in here, and then I am going to lay into. Dang it! Why are my arrows not disappearing?
Oh, that's weird.
There we go.
Oh, there you go. Cool.
And I'm going to lay into this one with my short sword. If I can get it up. Short sword. Boom. Normal. And
Fighting
he does.
lip.
He does have. He does have an ally next to him, so sneak attack damage will apply.
The undead is aware of you.
Well, as long as I have an ally within 5 feet,
Oh, I see. You got it. I'm
I
sorry.
also get sneak attack damage.
Woohoo! Yay!
Does it hit?
Actually, let me check real quick. That might have, it has an AC of 13, in fact. So again, you lunge out with a short sword, and again, that same ceremonial armor is surprisingly tough and is protecting the skeletons from injury.
Okay, then bonus action, I'm going to two-hand fighting and short sword with the other hand.
That does connect.
Okay.
So you take the first blow takes it off of balance, which allows you to get the dagger in between the ribs.
So 14 points of damage total.
All right. You do get your blade between the ribs. But there's only dusty chunks of who knows what inside those ribs, and did not appear to do as much damage as you'd like.
Yeah, we need blunt weapons against these guys.
Zariel, you are up.
Almost up then.
Zariel?
Zariel?
There he is.
I said get the move. I'm sorry, I started to fall asleep.
Your character speaks, I'm going to picture Jar Jar Binks.
You so bad. All right. Trying to see what would be really good. Whew. Give me a second.
Okay.
I will be right back. I just have to go to the bathroom real quick.
No problem.
We're getting there for all of us, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I just figured since I'm so far down the turn order anyway,
Yep.
I might as well just
I know the feeling.
make a quick hop.
For it.
Debating between Thunderous. No, I didn't want to do that. Whatever that is. I'm actually
That's
trying
okay.
to read stuff.
That's okay. But it's good to know that you have
Okay.
these.
I also got protection from good and evil.
You believe that that would work on these undead. You may have come across an undead once or twice in your life.
So I can use this, but I can't attack.
Casting a spell would use one of your actions, yes. Although some of your paladin abilities, it's possible that they might be bonus actions to be used with an attack.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out here. Which ones? Because I don't play this. Divination. What the hell is that?
Divination
Divinate.
allows you to ask a question of your god. That might be a
Oh,
class
crap.
feature.
I don't have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to work on it. So, for example, like Searing Smite is a casting time of one bonus action, so you can cast that and then attack. Sunder's Smite is also one bonus action, so you can actually you can cast that and then attack. Many of these are also concentration spells, so you can actually maintain them while you are while you're attacking. So your smite spells are spells that you can cast and then make melee attacks with.
I look at these creatures as they need to be burned. But of course, I like that Thunderous Smite. I gotta test it. I don't think they'd be affected by thunder and lightning, but let's try Thunderous Smite.
All right. You call upon the martial forces and pantheon of beliefs and invoke a Thunderous Smite, which is successful. That was your bonus action. You can now make attack rolls if you so desire.
Did I already do that, or do I actually have to do it?
Well, you have to roll to hit. And the way that the spell works is you now have a Thunderous Smite kind of charged, and as long as you don't take injury, it's going to kind of stick around for a while. and then the moment you connect with your weapon will ring with a thunder that is audible within 300 feet of you, and it'll do 2d6 thunder damage to the target.
So I should just use Thunderous Smite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, I'm
So
back,
once-
sorry.
All right, cool. And then, then you still make an attack roll with your sword. So you get to do your sword attack, and then you get that bonus damage if it connects, which it did. All right. Go ahead and roll damage on the greatsword.
Sorry, I've never played a paladin, so all this is all new.
Right on. You got it. So you cast the spell, which charged your weapon. You connect with the weapon. You did set 11 slashing damage, but in addition to that, you actually got the thunder off. So he's going to take a total of 18 points of damage, and he has to make a strength save or be knocked prone. And you can't push him 10 feet away from you. He just will go into the wall. So he just is knocked prone. Let me make a save for him real quick. That's a strength 14. What did he get?
Damn it, he's saved.
So he's still standing, but you did clock him but good. So he takes 7 points. And then the slashing damage.
Hope it wasn't too shocking for him.
He is on the ropes. You definitely did him but good. There's still bits of electricity arcing off of him, and all of you, your ears are ringing from the thunderous pa-boom that just happened. That kind of knocked the skeleton back into the wall. You essentially knock him back in the wall, but he's still standing. He is not knocked prone by that attack. Do you have any other actions?
No, don't think so.
All right, cool. Okay, next is Glop. Glop is going to use a... who needs it most? Glop can't make an attack, but Glop can... Whoop, don't do that. Glop can use an assist action, so he is going to assist Kaya. So Kaya, when you make a next attack roll, he's essentially distracting the skeleton that's adjacent to you. That'll give you an attack of you'll get advantage to attack the skeleton that's adjacent to you.
Ruby.
All right. Next skeleton retreats. The next skeleton retreats. He is like trying to climb on top of the altar and has knocked the whistle onto the ground and has knocked the candle over, and it's kind of casting a little bit of light, but now it's kind of setting up shadows and all that. Anoopson, you're up.
Alrighty, so well, I've got a dude on me.
Yes, and he is
kinda
not
needs
cowed
to
by the
be-
might of Bane, so he is still a threat to you.
And I can't use my bow because he's too close. I took two-handed fighting, but I'm not sure how it works.
You look better.
I showered.
Like I'm talking about like
Add your ability modifier to the damage of the second attack. So does that mean I roll them both, or that I just roll to attack and then
What are you trying to use?
I have two-handed fighting or two weapon fighting, and so I'm just trying to figure out.
Dagger.
Well, in my case, it's dagger hand axe, but I'm just trying to figure out: do I just roll to attack by clicking one of them, or do I have to roll them both? How do I do that?
So two-weapon fighting, when you take an attack action, an attack with a light melee weapon that you're holding in one hand, you gain a bonus action they can use to attack with that second light melee weapon. So you'll roll them both separately,
All right. So there's the first one.
And you also have the option to throw that secondary weapon if you wanted to do so.
Oh,
So
no.
yep. So you swing with a hand axe, and again, you're all surprised at the ornamental armor that these individuals are using. It is providing a lot of difficulty in connecting with the underlying meaty skeletonness, which is not very meaty. And then with the second weapon, you can make an attack roll.
I don't know if it heard me.
There you go.
Yeah, it heard me twice.
The dagger did
So
connect
skip the
though.
8, yeah.
And you connect with that dagger. So you swing with the axe and kind of essentially
Bonk
clip
him.
its you kind of clip his jaw, but it's not enough to really do any real damage. But then you come back around again with the dagger, and you literally sink the dagger in the side of his skull. There's this puff of dust that
Ugh.
kind of comes out the other side and out his mouth, and then the jaw goes slack, and the entire skeleton collapses to the ground in front of you.
Oh, well,
Right
I'll
on.
take that. Damn.
Yeah, these were they are tough.
Okay.
All right, Anubsan, you can freely move or take any other actions. You did use your bonus action though.
Yeah, I'm staying where I am because now I'm actually better able to attack the others when they're not on top of me. So back to the bow as soon as we get there.
All right, cool. The next skeleton to go is the one that just died. Let me remove it real quick. Vosh, you are up. You are surveying the battlescape, and you are definitely feeling like Bane is on your side in this battle. What would you like to do?
The disobedient skeleton over by the traveler. I'm gonna smack him upside the head with my long sword.
All right. You'll have to move adjacent to him.
All right. Let's see. And let's see. Pardon me, I'm just switching pages real quick.
That I think does connect. They have an AC of 13. Yes.
Awesome. Then I have
Go
to
ahead and roll damage. Oh wow.
Holy shit.
So even though your sword is not as effective against these as other weapons could be, you still catch it right in the spine, right above the pelvis, in a gap in the armor, and its upper section topples from the lower section back between a couple sarcophagi, and then the feet kind of dance around a little bit comically for about 10 seconds, and then it flops to the ground dead.
Again. Sorry.
You redeaded the dead.
Redeaded the dead. Awesome.
Max damage
Alright.
on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, that just enough to take it out. Right on. Bane says lay down. Kaya, you are
You've been
up.
furloughed.
Yeah. Oh. Too soon. Oh, sorry. It's okay. Yeah, okay, that skeleton is dead. Kaya, you are now in a skeleton-free zone. Across the room from you are a trio of cowed skeletons, one of which is crawling on top of the altar, defiling the very altar that it was there to protect. And they are keeping as far away from Bane and his disciple as possible. What would you like to do?
Now, I cannot attack them because that will uncow them.
Yes.
Yep.
But
If they take damage, they are uncowed, and then they're going to do what they need to do.
so I suggest we leave the room and try to shut the door behind us and trap them in here. Or I can take one of them out, because if we're going to get any rest, we're going to have to kill them.
We could focus each of them down one by one. So we just make sure to damage only one of them at a time.
Yeah,
We only have
focus
to deal
on.
with one of them at a time.
Okay. And I'm gonna have to move then. Okay, I'm gonna go over to this dude in the corner. Lower left corner.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my advantaged attack.
So you,
Or
you
I
actually
only
have
got
lost.
advantage. I don't get advantage on this guy because Glop was helping me with the other one.
Yep, you'd have to wait for Glob to fly over
Okay.
there and help again.
Okay, well, then I'm going to ignore that and lose my fucking mind. I'm gonna go over here and I'm going to scream, Oldemora, bless my blade, and short sword that dude.
Ooh, and it worked.
Yeah, it did.
Aldemar says the dice are in your favor, and you connect.
Oldemora loves me. For 8 damage.
All right, the skeleton is not cowed anymore.
Nope, but he's gonna die again by the power of Oldemora.
All right, you whack him, but good, and he kind of shakes out of his cowedness, rears up, and is ready to attack you. Do you have any other actions you want to take?
I only get one action.
All right. He turns on you and lashes out with a ceremonial sword. Ah! Crap.
And I take 10 points of damage.
Oh lordy. Okay.
Well, the good thing about barbarians is they are just sacks of hit points.
Yeah, that's right. But I have him pinned in the corner so he can't get out.
Yes, he actually probably can't move around you to anyone else while you have him pinned that way. Oh, how bad are you hurt right now?
I went from 40 to 30. I'm fine.
Okay.
I normally have 36 hit points. So technically, I'm really only down 4.
Okay. You benefit. So, something unusual happens. You have experienced this before. Some strange whispers kind of coalesce around you. Something not quite normal or part of this world reaches out to you, and you feel the injuries around you kind of closing a little bit. There's kind of a darkening and some shadows and whispers that surround you. And then just as quickly as they were there, they're gone again, and your injuries have closed a little bit. You've been healed for 7 points of damage.
Wow. And Glop is right next to me, right?
Yes.
I'm going to look at Glop and say, did you feel that, dude?
You actually, as you turn around, Glop had actually had his hand stretched out to you while that was happening. And the moment he pulls his hand away again, the strange whispers abate.
I'm just going to look at him and say, thanks, man.
He smiles up at you. Let me check real quick. I want to check something on that. Okay. And with that, he also points his finger at the undead and lobs a. He actually gets advantage on this one. He lobs a eldritch blast into the being, into the skeleton.
Oh, yeah, baby.
And does 4 points of damage.
It was a good hit, though.
Yep.
It was a fine hit.
All right, Traveler, you are up.
Okay. I'm actually going to try something here.
Danger, Robinson, danger.
I'm going to pull out the crystal flask and throw it against the wall.
Ah!
Oh no!
Oh dear.
Yeah, the trigger.
Let me consult the Book of Armaments.
Oh, should you just set off the firebolt?
Uh, so this flask, is this a flask that you acquired recently?
Yes.
That's the one
Um,
from the altar in this room.
yes. Uh, yes. Okay. So the flask, you grab it. You're going to hurl it at who?
Against the wall.
Could you ping the wall you want it?
Well, I will first use my movement to get out of the room.
Yeah, see
man.
how that works.
And then I'm going to throw it against this wall right here.
Oh God.
Okay, wait. Could you make an attack roll and roll a 1, please? I would really like this.
What should I attack with? Should I just...
Actually, this would just make a dexterity check. Because this would probably be, this you wouldn't be proficient. So
I'm not watching. My eyes are closed.
please
so
roll a
look up.
1. This would be fantastic. Okay, well, all right.
What-
Well,
Okay, well, it can't be a 1. He didn't.
So-
He didn't yell.
so sadly, this does not invoke the potion immiscibility rules in the game. You throw this flask of yellowish fluid against the wall. I actually have to make a saving throw for it real quick. It shatters against that wall. The crystal, there's a loud crystalline shatter that all of you hear, and the yellowish fluid slowly runs down the wall. It's almost like a syrup, in fact.
Well, shit.
Ah.
Because when I
Though
picked that thing up, it's what triggered all the bad guys. I figured destroying it would...
Do you say that out loud?
No, this is my head cannon.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we throw it in the fountain to make it go off. Is my fear.
Oh, do you want to throw it in the fountain?
No,
I'll let Traveler, I'll let you go back and just kind of throw this.
All right, we'll just kind of shoot it right over there.
Oh, really? Oh, God.
Oh no!
This is gonna be awesome. All right.
Hey,
Let me roll a scatter die here. Oh, that's perfect. Hold on. Let me find rules for potion miscibility.
I have 14 health. This is going to be an interesting run to get out.
Okay. Could you? Oh, wait. There
I
you
hate to
go.
say it, but can I just retcon my whole choice?
No. Could you roll a percentile die?
Percentile?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Well, it's a good segue to your game, Rob. If you just killed
A
this.
78. Oh, okay.
Okay.
So wow. All right.
Damn.
You throw the flask, and it essentially kind of bounces off. Like you essentially hit it on the strongest part of the flask. It hits the wall and bounces back into the corner of the fountain, whereupon it cracks open but doesn't shatter. The yellow fluid then mixes in with the red glowing fluid. When that happens, the orange glowing fluid begins to bubble and crack, almost as if it were lava, with the cracks becoming bright yellow. And the luminosity of this increases considerably and then dims. And it remains this kind of crackled, kind of like lava-looking fluid.
You put it out.
And it still glows. And now there's an interesting smell of what smells like kind of like I forget the flower, but there's this kind of sweet buttery smell coming out of the fountain now.
Instead of the sulfuric smell we
Corn
had.
gun.
Yep.
Ah. You know, we're gonna have to sit on Glop to keep him from climbing in there.
Well,
It's gonna be like, what now? What?
I'm no chemist, so I have no idea.
I
what
have no
just
idea what you
happened,
just
but
did either. Nope, I don't either. And you know what's funny is that only Ruth was scared. I was the only one holding my bladder and hoping, because Anubis didn't know what you had or what you did.
But yeah, I'm just gonna use my last 5 feet to move back towards the door. There.
There's still like kind of a bubbling sound coming from it, but it's not reacting or doing anything weird above and beyond.
Yeah,
this
it
kind
didn't turn into a backdraft moment that.
So
blew
we
him.
went from lava to Aunt Jemima. What the hell?
I don't know.
Oh, it's still glowing though. It's still a glowing orange and yellow fluid.
Nuclear
It's a
Aunt
glowing
Jemima.
orange fluid with yellow cracks. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess
All
that's
right.
my turn.
Zariel, you're up.
Okay. After this round, can I go so that I can go to the bathroom?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So Zariel, the two undead that are adjacent to you are not cowed. If you attack them, they will become violent again. The one that is catty corner has been hit and is now active. So your thunder spell has. Oh, by the way, you're muted. Okay. You're muted in chat.
That would explain why nobody could hear me.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm like sitting here talking. I'm like, yeah, because Meg came in, so I was like, I'm muted while you were talking.
All right.
Okay.
So your spell has been it has been spent. The thunder strike.
Oh, yeah.
You've been thunderstruck. Da, da, da. So you can do another smite if you like, or you can just
Joseph.
whack on the undead with your weapon.
Oh, no. This one needs to burn.
Okay. Oh, you're just trying out all the spells.
Do I only get to use them once a day?
You get to use as many as you have spell slots for.
I don't even know how many of that.
Let me look at your character sheet real quick. You should have 3 first level spells, so you can use that 3 times until you get a long rest. You can even use the same spell multiple times if you like.
So I can't use too much of this, or else.
You would probably need to take a long rest at some point after all of this.
Yeah, or else I won't have healing. Is healing one where
Your lay on hands is actually a pool of healing that you can do, is not affected by your spell pool.
Okay. I don't know any of this stuff.
That's okay, because we're here to help you learn.
Oh, my casters.
Casters keep you alive, man.
Amen.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I do Searing Smite. It's going cast at what level? Level 1, I think.
Yep. All right, cool. Go ahead and make an attack roll. So right now your sword glows red with a Searing Smite, sheds a little orange reddish glow, and you are able to swipe out at the skeleton. Go ahead and roll to hit. Oh, and an 18 connects. Go ahead and roll damage. All right. So you cast the Searing Smite, and your blade starts to glow bright orange red. You then are able to bring the sword down on the skeleton and connect, and you do a total of 13 points of damage. So 6, 3.
Dang.
You had definitely injured the skeleton pretty darn good. It is hanging on by a thread. All right, so that's top of the round. Let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, you guys can hopefully finish smashing these skeletons into little cult-sized bits.
Yes. I'm actually kind of relieved that it looks like Rob took away part of the danger. Anubis will be like, what? Okay.
All right, cool. Thanks, everyone. Back in a few minutes.
That has yet to be seen, Ruth.
Hmm? Yeah.
Bless you.
All right, I am back.
Hooray!
I'm back. I'm just munching on some pizza.
And Robin's minstrels rejoiced. Yay.
I always think of Worf in Next Gen when I think of that. I am not a merry man.
Good line. Speaking of Star Trek, has anybody watched the new Star Trek Discovery?
Yes,
I have not. I
Not
have not
yet.
watched a single episode.
I actually enjoy it quite a bit.
Have you seen the Star Trek reboot with Chris Pine as Kirk?
Yes,
Oh. You're talking the movie.
movies.
Sorry, yes.
The movies, yes, the movies.
Mhm.
Okay, now the movies, the reboot movies are a new timeline, yes?
Yeah, they
Yes.
call it the Kelvin timeline.
Right. Is Star Trek Discovery creating that timeline?
Ooh. That's a good question. They always thought that the Kelvin timeline was the Romulan mining ship going back in time.
Well, if you've seen the Discovery series, then you know there's some fuckery going on.
That's true, yeah. Ooh, that's a good idea, actually.
Have you seen Picard?
We haven't started watching Picard yet. We're just
Okay.
working our way. We're up to we were in the middle of the episode today where they're trying to blow up the Discovery and failing.
Oh. Yeah, I really like Discovery. I love Picard. I think that's a great show.
Yeah, we're gonna watch it next.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, when I got done with Picard, I went back and started going through all of my favorite old Next Gen episodes, and that was
See,
a
I
great show.
never liked Next Gen that much.
Well, my favorite was DS9.
Yes,
Absolutely.
DS9. DS9 is the
Yes.
best of the new ones, I think. I always loved it.
But I always liked Worf, so I kind of like that there's continuity between Next Gen
I
and
like
DS9.
Jadzia. I like Jadzia.
They should
a
never,
lot.
they should never have gotten rid of her.
Jadzia
It
is
made
my
me
babe.
so mad when they killed her off. You know?
They screwed that up so bad. And I didn't like Esri that much. I mean, she's okay, but she's kind of pain in my ass.
Well, they did that just to screw Terry Farrell over. Because,
Oh yeah, they did
she-
that entirely to screw her over. Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, they did. Well, Star Trek franchises often do stupid things. I did see some of the Next Generation. I liked the episode where Picard has the whole lifetime.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's-
Oh yeah,
that one.
yeah.
And I like
The probe.
I like the one where he's trying to learn the language from the guy that speaks in metaphors.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, those guys.
Those were excellent episodes. And well, I mean, because Patrick Stewart is an awesome damn actor.
Yeah.
He just is good at everything he does.
Who
I love
is?
the Lieutenant Barclay episodes. Those I think
Those
that the
were good.
Which
character
actor is
awesome.
really good?
I think his name was Dwight Schrute. But she was saying that Patrick Stewart was a great actor. which I agree
Yeah. And Shatner, too. Shatner's Canadian.
Well, I am a fan of Shatner and Nimoy. Both of them are Canadian actors.
with. Well, Shatner's like Samuel L. Jackson in that he gets hired to play himself.
I like William Shatner, and I've read a couple of his biographies or his autobiographies, and I just really like that.
Mhm.
I do not own any of his albums, nor will I, but it's okay. I mean, I got to draw the line somewhere. Actually, a lot of sci-fi actors come from Canada. Nathan Fillion is also from Canada.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I got a picture with him at the Seattle Comic Con a few years ago.
Aw,
Hey, awesome.
Me
man.
and my wife and our 2 kids at the time. Yeah.
Oh, I am so jealous.
Sorry.
And funny enough, he went from being a starship captain, not Star Trek. He went from Firefly to being a cop.
I like this
Oh, that's true,
myself.
yeah.
Much like
There are
William
talks
Shatner
about
did.
them rebooting Firefly.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, that's
a
usually
reboot would be hard. I
That's
love
it.
the
Oh,
old
no,
Citadel so
with
much.
all the
Joke
same
out
actors.
Oh,
every
that's
year.
a horse different color. Yeah, I'd be down for that.
The reason why that it didn't go over so well is because what they were talking about, it was just too soon, too early for its
Yeah,
time.
apparently people can't handle space cowboys. Come on, that was a lyric
Star
in a
Trek's
song
been
long
around since
before.
1969
And then,
or whatever. Space Cowboys
yeah,
are
but
Star Trek. Come
All
on.
right, I'm back.
and
Welcome
then
back.
the one thing is why I don't think I can get into Star Trek Discovery. Is their Star Trek ship looks like a Klingon ship in white from the original series.
It's definitely an
Yes.
interesting looking ship when you kind of look at the Starfleet
Well,
kind of designs out there.
Remember that the Enterprise that we know and love was on a 5-year mission, so a bunch of stuff happened, and Discovery looks newer than Enterprise because Enterprise is old and busted, and Discovery is, the new hot and tasty. And
Yeah, but the hottest looks like a friggin' Klingon ship.
it doesn't really. It looks like the Enterprise only updated, and of course
No,
with a fungus drive, but whatever.
Yeah, spore drive.
And believe me, the Klingon ships that they're using in Discovery don't look like the Enterprise or the Discovery. And anyway, Sonequa Martin Green is hot.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. All right.
There's no argument there.
So top of the round, the skeleton that's in the corner has actually burst into flames right now,
Great.
and is kind of writhing and spinning, and again, just kind of eking out some kind of soft shrieks as it burns. It's not dead yet. You're more than welcome to put it out of its misery, but the flames are consuming it right now. Glop is going to hold his action. Skeleton's going to cow. Skeleton's going to cow. And Anubson, you are up. What would you like to do?
How the hell did I manage that? Okay, so they've got everybody sort of quelled. But if I shoot this guy,
There's a good chance you'll put it out of its misery. But
All
you
right.
could try. Yep.
all right.
Oh, that hits.
Still only does 6 damage, damn it.
So when you hit it in the skull, and it actually bursts, and you see kind of like orangey embers kind of flying in the air, and it the upper part of its skull is still it is gone essentially, but the bottom is still letting out a shrill cry as it flops over, still smoldering and burning, which is leaving a fantastic smell in the small chamber with you. But
I'm
it
not up
is
close.
it is essentially dead.
Oh, nice.
But casting a nice warm glow in the room with you.
Great.
Classic definition of SCP. That is definitely someone else's problem.
You still have a move action if you'd like to take it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go right here.
All right, cool. Next, Vosh.
Okay. Well,
Hilariously, I still can't see the traveler, so I don't know what he's up to.
You walked by the door and you could see where he was. He's in front of the fountain still. But and there is now a strange change in the color to the light that was out there, where before it was kind of like an orangey red. It's now more yellow in color,
Hmm.
and it kind of sounds like bacon's being cooked in the room.
Oh God. I hope it's insta cooling. Okay. Yeah, when you're watching him, traveler, what you see is Anubis do a double take and then go back to what he was focused on.
So Vosh, what are you going to do with the skeleton? So there's a skeleton that's essentially on top of the altar, just trying to like curled up on its side. The other skeleton is doing its best to stay away from you. Oh, I need to check to see if getting adjacent to the undead breaks the turning. Let me check that real quick. Sources, game rules, cleric.
I think it just changes direction to dodge.
Yeah. So yes, they'll just be dodging at this point.
Right.
Turn undead. First action only if there's nowhere to move can only use a dodge. Okay, yep. So that is all they're doing right now. So technically, you all have disadvantage to hit these things, but they are not attacking while they're in this current state.
All right. I'm going to hit the one closest to me with my long sword.
Okay.
And
Go ahead and roll to hit with disadvantage.
disadvantage.
Uh, 16 hits. Go ahead and roll damage. All right. It has ceased being cowed. But you do not lose advantage to hit. Actually, everyone has disadvantage until its action. Kaya, you're up.
Well, I'm just gonna go for the next guy, which I
All
guess
right.
is an altar dude.
Go ahead and roll to
And-
hit. It will be at disadvantage.
Because he's cowed.
Yes, he's using a dodge action right now.
Oh, okay.
And
Is the other guy? Is the other guy taking a dodge action?
yes, they are both
both
taking
are.
dodge. Yep.
Wasn't the dude I was attacking just now taking a dodge action?
He did. He was, and I forgot to. Well, when he initially when he got hit, until he got hit, he was dodging. But after
Oh.
he went into melee mode, his action came up and he was able to attack.
Oh, okay. So I can still do what I was doing.
Yep.
Just
You can
do it
also
with disadvantage.
you could also wait until he attacks to reciprocate too.
But he's not going to attack because he's cowed.
No, he has ceased being cowed.
Oh.
Vosh actually hit him. And so his dodge action will last until his next
okay.
action,
I didn't.
which
hear
is
the
on
hit.
13.
Sorry.
Yep.
Okay. No, I'm not waiting.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at I'm gonna look at Vosh and say, "Duck, Magnum."
Go ahead and roll the hit. Oh, nice.
And I failed because I'm at disadvantage.
Oh crap! Yes.
Which
Sorry.
sucks, because that 27 is beautiful. But my next action can be regular. My next attack can be regular because he will have,
Yeah, he'll be attacking again.
he'll not be doing something stupid. Okay, so moving on.
All right. Glob makes a normal attack roll because his race feature allows him to make attacks with advantage when allies are adjacent. This
But
is
I
just
didn't
going
get
to...
that.
You didn't get that, but you're not a kobold.
Ah.
Yep. So he decides to. Oh, what would he do? He's probably. Yeah, he's just gonna Eldritch Blast it again, and misses.
Oh.
So there's a
Little buddy.
green bolt of energy that cracks against the wall, but does nothing else. Traveler, you are up.
Okay.
You're hearing kerfuffles, and you're seeing flames kind of licking in a corner, kind of being cast on the wall in the opposite room. And you're also standing next to a puddle of magical juice that is sizzling. What would you like to do?
Well, first, get away from the sizzling.
Sizzling juice?
The sizzling juice. I'm going to use bonus action to hide.
Okay. go ahead and make a check.
So,
What is their
oh, for
passive?
fuck's sake. My rolls are just not on par today. Okay. And then
So, okay. So you have a height of 11. All right.
and then I'm going to peek around the door
Critical fail. He failed to hide, dude.
with my longbow and attack. No, not him.
Him.
This guy going after Vosh.
All right. Had it not been a critical failure, you actually would have hidden from it because their passive perception is like 9. But
Yeah.
sadly, he does see you. Go ahead and make an attack roll. This will be with disadvantage.
Disadvantage and come on, dice. Give me some love. Well, I'll take it.
That hits. All right. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay, he does have a ally in range, so this will have sneak attack damage. So 13 altogether.
All right. You. It has its arm stretched out, and you send your arrow right through its hand and into its chest cavity, and it lurches back from that blow. All right. Zoriel, you are up. The skeleton that you just set on fire is extinguished. Well, its undead life is extinguished. It's still making smoke and flames. That would be. Are you going to climb on top of the altar?
Well, it's the only way I can get at things.
All right, go ahead. Make a athletics check. You're really just trying to get above a 5 at this point, and you'll have spent 5 foot of movement trying to climb on top of it. You're fine. You actually do one of those like dead jumps in armor on top of the altar, and are right next to it. The continual light
We're all
candle.
impressed.
The continual light candle falls behind the altar, and you are right there with that undead. Go ahead and do your worst. It is a 12 and a, what's its AC again? It is 13. You actually miss. It's able, with all the scuffling and it's waving its arms around, you're just not able to land a blow. It essentially.
Wait, you just said it was a 13, I rolled a 14?
You are actually making this attack with disadvantage because it had used a dodge action.
What do you mean?
So when they were cowed by the turn undead, they moved away. A round had gone by after the movement, which gave them an opportunity to use dodge actions instead because they had nowhere else to go. And then everyone who's been attacking this one up to this point until its action has been doing so with disadvantage because a dodge action makes an attacker attack you with disadvantage.
Okay.
All right. Did you want to take any other actions, bonus or otherwise?
I don't think I have any bonuses.
Okay. All right.
Unless anybody needs
No,
healing.
no. Come here. Come here. No.
There are injured people in the party, but none that I think are within touch range. Actually, Kaya has a light injury, but she's also not in any real peril either.
I'm once again above my normal hit points, so I am A-okay.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So I think Anubis is the only one who's injured right now. All right. Glop moves in and provides a distraction. Whoop, hold on. No, why does it do that every time? Glop flies in and provides a distraction to the undead, which will give you advantage to hit. Next is the cowed skeleton who takes a dodge action, and the uncowed skeleton attacks. And this will be who does it attack? He attacks Kaya.
Bring it.
So Kaya, the
You sound so
skeleton
scared.
the skeleton whips out and makes an attack against you, but sadly does not connect. Next is Anubis. Anubis, what would you like to do?
Well, the one that's still moving. So this is the guy that just attacked Kaya.
Yep.
Can I get a clear shot, assuming I can get over
You can.
Bosch's shoulder?
Yes, you can.
All right.
That hits. Go ahead and roll damage. All right. It is definitely on the ropes right now.
Oh, somebody kick him.
You launch an arrow, and it kind of disappears into its rib cage, and you hear some splintering and cracks as it does so, and it lurches from that blow. You can also take movement if you like.
I'm going to stay where I'm at because that's a good distance for me to shoot from. So.
All right, cool. All right, Vosh, you are up. What would you like to do?
I'll smack him with my longsword.
All right, cool.
All right, let's see here. Oh, that was disadvantage. Sorry.
Well, you are not disadvantaged. You are in fact advantage because Glop was providing a distraction. So
Okay,
you are actually able
that.
to. Well, you rolled your second roll was a 24, which is a crit. So you can roll the longsword damage, and if it doesn't apply the crit, we'll go ahead and roll an additional D8. All right, cool. So that's 16 points of damage, which puts it down for good.
Awesome.
So with Glop's help, you are able to kill this last one. You bring your sword down right through its clavicle. It kind of grabs at the sword, clings at it for a moment, and then goes limp and falls off the altar. All right, Kaya, you are up. Now, the remaining skeleton still is cowed and is using a dodge action.
Okay, so I'm at disadvantage again.
Yep. You are also out of melee range. You'd have to move. You can actually go into the same square as Glop, or you can climb on the altar as Zariel did.
To get to the guy in the corner.
Yep.
Oh, because there's a sarcophagus in my way. Is that what you're saying?
You can actually kind of get around the sarcophagus. They're kind of inset into the wall.
Okay,
there you go.
Now
Yep.
I'm in melee range, yes?
Yes, you are.
And I'm at disadvantage, and okay, I'm gonna once again scream "Fairy bitch" at the top of my lungs, and short sword, or not, as the case may be.
All
and
right.
I failed miserably.
Sadly, the blow does not connect. It's kind of writhing in a corner, and you just aren't able to get a blow in on it.
I will scream in frustration.
Oh, are you raging?
What?
Are you raging?
No, just screaming in frustration.
All right. Glob launches another Eldritch Blast on it. Actually, we'll probably do a Sacred Flame. Well, it's not called Sacred Flame in his pantheon, but you see Glop kind of raise his hands up and his fingers stretched out, and the undead is engulfed in flames. So that's a dex save.
You know, I'm picturing the child from Mandalorian, right?
Oh, they actually have like good decks. That's actually kind of surprising. So that is yep. So unfortunately, it kind of twists out of the flames that are against it, and is uninjured.
Can I take a free action to kick it?
Yes, you can, but it wouldn't do any good. But you are
It
able to
doesn't-
kick at it.
It makes me feel better. That's
It
all that
does.
matters.
You kick at it, it's like, why won't you die? So it is still uninjured. Traveler, you're up. Oop.
All right. I am going to once again bonus action to hide.
Go ahead.
Um,
You can't roll ones all the time.
I know
There we go.
that's a little better.
No.
Okay, so now I'm going to peek back around the door and let loose a short bow.
All right.
Now,
Roll to hit.
this time because I'm hidden, I should have advantage, which cancels out to a normal roll.
Yes.
Right on.
So, boom goes dynamite, and I will take that all day, every day.
And it connects.
And damage with sneak attack is 17 points of damage altogether.
All right. Cool. So you whip around the corner, knock an arrow, let out a breath, and whip in there and launch an arrow, hitting it square in the sternum, splitting it, which actually kind of splits out a little bit. Dust kind of goes spewing out into the combatants, and it clutches at its open chest that you've split open with that arrow. All right, Zariel, you are. Oh, I'm sorry. And do you have any other movement?
I do, but for now, I think I'm going to stick it here in the door.
All right, cool. Zariel, you are up. Oh, and it has been injured, so it is not cowed anymore.
Advantage.
Yep.
But
So after its next action, which will happen after Zariel's, it will you'll be able to attack it without disadvantage.
okay.
So this one it's still technically dodging, so it'll be with disadvantage.
Yeah, I know.
Yep. Go ahead and roll to hit. Oh, you're thundering him. Right on. So you all see Zariel raise his sword up.
I don't
like,
do nothing to him.
That's okay. You all see Zariel raise his sword up, and electricity starts licking over the blade. He brings it down point first, but the skeleton kind of pushes itself back into the corner, and the tip of the blade doesn't connect. However, the blade is still glowing with electrical energy. All right. Let me make an intelligence check for Glop real quick. Okay. Not bad. Okay. Glop is going to move into your area, Zoriel, and is distracting the skeleton for you. This is kind of like it's kind of turned into this winged mass of writhing tentacles, and it's lashing out at the skeleton, which is distracting it. You will get advantage to your attack roll the next time you attack the skeleton. All right. To which the skeleton lashes out again, this time lashing out against Zoriel. But sadly, that sword blow does not connect. So it slashes out at you, Zoriel, but you're able to kind of pick up your legs as it tries to stab at you on the altar. It does not connect. Anubson, what would you like to do? This is without disadvantage.
Okay, so because he's awake now, I don't have to. Okay.
Because he attacked Zoriel and miffed, he's now he is not dodging anymore.
Alrighty.
Oh,
Whoa.
Kaya,
Oh,
Bosch.
okay.
Duck.
Roll another d20, and we are going to roll a d6. All right, Kaya. What is your AC?
19.
19? Okay. A arrow goes whipping through your hair and kind of hits the stonework and deflects back into the corner behind the skeleton. It was surprisingly close for comfort, but you can't necessarily say someone was trying to assassinate you or not.
It's a knot.
I'm just gonna look over my shoulder and say I didn't think my haircut needed. I didn't think my hair needed cut.
Vosh, you still have movement. Did you want to do anything, or just kind of stay in the corner?
Did you say Bosch?
I'm sorry, Anubis.
No, I'll stand where I'm at. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, Vosh, you're up.
All right. Do I have advantage on this?
You do not, no.
Okay. I'm going to stick to what works, hopefully, and go with the longsword smack.
All right, roll to hit. That misses. So it is able, while it's swinging the sword around to try and connect on, try hit Zariel, it's able to deflect your sword blow, and you sadly do not connect with your sword.
Oh, that's mean. Oh, well.
All right. Kaya, you are up.
Hey,
This apparently this last undead is deftly deflecting blows and dodging arrows
he
and
is
so on.
stubborn as shit, but he is no longer dodging.
No, he is not. So this is a regular attack roll.
All right, Verity bitch.
Oh, that connects.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Right on. You connect with the short sword, busting up a couple of ribs, and a chunk of its sternum goes skittering across the floor, having been split earlier by the arrow and just kind of opened up a lot more for you. You see these kind of dusty organs just kind of hanging out and flopping in the breeze after your blow.
Right on. I'm actually
Oh.
going to move back now.
If
Not
you
there.
do so, you will provoke an attack
Oh,
of opportunity. Yep.
I forgot. God damn it. Okay, I was gonna try and get out of the way so other people could take a hit, but you know I don't want to attack an attack of opportunity, so I will just hold my position and hope for the best.
All right, cool. All right, next is Glob, and he said, just thinks second of using the flame again, and no, he's not going to do that. He knows better, so he's just going to Eldritch Blast the thing, and connects, doing 7 points of damage.
Sweet.
It is definitely on the ropes now. Traveler, you're up.
All right, second verse, same as the first. Going to poink, bonus action, hide. And that'll do it. And then short bow. Boom goes the dynamite.
You
All
connect.
right.
Yeah.
And 18 points of damage.
All right. That final arrow hits it in the chest again, and it kind of reaches for its chest and even kind of reaches in and kind of pulls its hand back out and then slumps down to the floor dead. And you have deprived your paladin of using his thunderous smite.
Hey, Vosh.
Yep.
As soon as that thing hits the floor, Anubis says, Vosh, rebuke the dead, show the way. Does that mean anything to you from that room while you're in it? No, seriously, because where he's standing and what we just did, does it mean anything? Is there a secret passage in here?
What kind of a check should I be making here? Investigation?
Go ahead and make an intelligence check.
Sure.
'Cause it's been on his mind since we stepped in here and all hell broke loose. So
Rebuke the Dead Show the Way was on the stone door.
above us, yeah.
The stone door that you actually passed through to get into this room.
Vosh, not smart.
Vosh
what
was
did you
like,
get? I'm sorry, I was still scrolled up. Oh, yeah, it doesn't mean anything to you then.
Well, I do remember when he cast Rebuke or Turn Undead on the symbol. That is when the fountain started to spew out. If I
No,
remember
it was
right.
because I
That's-
said this. No, I said the spell. That's why the fountain
Oh,
started
okay.
to spew.
yeah,
Yeah, I said the spell out loud.
you actually used Rebuke Undead to open the stone door to
That's
this
right.
chamber. So, Zariel, you still have a Thunderous Smite on your sword. Did you want to try to use it in any way before it expires? It's got about a minute of time left on it.
What's still
Like,
left on the
did you-
altar?
Did you want to stick it in the fountain with the funny juices?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool.
Do I see him moving that direction?
And
Yes.
going back here. Do I need to use a strength check to pull one of those sarcophagus lids up in front of me?
You can go ahead and do that. As you all are taking cover, Glob is kind of looking at you all like incredulously, like, what's going on? Vosh, what are you going? I'm sorry, Zariel, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna grab Glob
In the
and
words of
find this
Hulk,
signature.
Uh
Oh,
Hulk
jeez.
smash.
huh. Could you roll a percentile die?
What is
Huh?
with all of these fucking ones?
What? I don't know. Didn't take it.
It
we
makes
all
me
know
feel
who the
so much
weakest
better,
is in our
Rob.
group.
What was
Just
that, Ruth?
it makes me feel so much better, Rob. Because when you're running the campaign, you're like, ha 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 ha. And the rest of us are just dying in misery. So now you know. This is what it feels like.
So it's kind of funny, like Traveler, you're just sitting there trying to pull this lid on top of you, and you're like,
Hopping up and down. He's just going to end up laying on the ground. You know it, right?
Hit the dirt.
Yeah.
Zariel, could you roll a percentile die for me?
What?
Oh dear.
So on the sidebar, there's like a little polyhedron D20, and there's actually D100 die in there. Could you roll that? Or I could roll it for you if you like.
No.
But I take no
No, you roll it,
responsibility
please.
for the roll.
I'm very confused. So please
Okay,
explain.
look over on the left corner where your arrow and your paintbrush and all that are. You'll see like what looks like a D20.
And if you hover over it, there's a
Okay.
D100 option in there, and you just click on a D100 option. It will roll a 100-sided die for you.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm shaking, so.
So you plunge your sword into this this kind of morass that's kind of smoking and sizzling right there. When you do so, your spell discharges into the liquids in front of you, and you are hit by the blast as well. Could you make a Constitution check real quick? DC 14?
Akale, when the DM gives you a suggestion of options, to stick your
I'm all
lightning
down for it.
sword
I was
into
all
the
cool
bubbling
with it.
juice,
Hmm?
you say
Like,
no
I'm
thank
down.
you.
Yeah, but see, that's not me.
Why waste a perfectly good spell, though?
Exactly.
Because we don't want to die.
Because we don't want to waste our paladin.
We'll
Go
get
ahead.
a large break after this.
Go ahead and make a Constitution save. Okay,
What
you
was that,
are
Joseph? I'm not hearing you, but you popped up like you were talking.
knocked back 10
Oh, I
feet
didn't say anything. That was my son in the
by the
background.
Oh,
Sorry.
blast. So your
Mhm.
spell actually goes off. You plunge your blade into this fluid. It's like, and it's like the moment the tip of your sword hits it, it's like an arc of lightning from the ceiling of this room into the
Ugh.
fluid. You're thrown back by the blast. You're not. The electricity doesn't hit you, just a concussive force. Um, you're on your butt right now, just kind of sitting leaning against the wall, and your hair is kind of standing on end. Although the electricity of it hasn't hit you, you didn't take any electrical damage. And across from you, the sizzling sound has stopped, and instead it's replaced by this kind of crackling sound. And in the basin of the fountain, you see blue flashes of light. In the fountain, but nothing else has happened. It's just kind of sitting there crackling.
Oh, jeez.
All right, I'm gonna go investigate.
You and the glow has changed. It is now blue.
Who wants to come help me investigate?
Okay, so when it turns quieter and you say the light turns blue,
Mm-hmm.
Anubis will step into the doorway.
So it's similar to what you saw before. There's a fluid at the bottom of this fountain. It's got kind of it's blue now, and it's well actually the fluid itself is black, but it seems to be radiating a halo of blue energy. It's dimmer than it was before, and the same cracks are on the surface, but they now look like rippling arcs of electricity.
It's shocking.
Oh
It
my
is very
God.
shocking. You're also presented by this just fantastic vision of Zariel, whose hair is literally standing on end. It's this like white halo around his face.
Mm.
And again, that included a thunderous kaboom. So that's like, again, like this really loud cacophony. Everyone's ears are, well, Zariel, your ears are ringing. Everyone else is a little deadened by it.
Well,
But
I'm all good. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
I'm good. He
Don't
gives
have
you a
to hear
thumbs
you.
up. He's smoking a little bit, and his hair looks like a giant white afro, but he looks uninjured. uh, so yeah, there's a black fluid with a kind of an electric blue halo with arcs of electricity dancing over it. What would you like to do? You all notice that Glop has crawled out from behind the altar and is making its way. A glob is making its way. I'm sorry, Glop, the little one,
The
is
little
making
guy,
its
yep.
is making its way towards the fountain, and it's kind of got it's kind of sniffing the air, and it's kind of bounding in that general direction.
Oh,
All right. So he wants to go in and explore. I want to move on to the next room. So what are we doing? I guess Anubis will come back through
All right.
and into this doorway so that he can talk to everybody.
Vosh wants to loot this room and kind of pick up that whistle that fell to the floor.
Please don't
Travelers
use
would
it.
right.
like to do the same. I want to
Yeah.
check out some of those short swords.
Yeah.
All right. They are all essentially functionally short swords. However, they're worth twice as much as a normal short sword because of the ornate
I'll be right
Uh,
back, guys.
engraving and treatments to the sword. The armor that the guardians were wearing is, well, it's kind of novel. It's probably not very useful in modern parlance. You could take it. You're not probably going to get a lot of money for it. And then, so yes, there was a whistle.
Please don't use it.
The whistle itself was also made out of crystal.
Bad
Though
idea.
unlike crystal, unlike the flask, which was crystal like a decanter or something like that. This is like a is it a? It is a smoky quartz. Um, it
I'm going
is
to make an
a
Arcana check with regards to the whistle.
go for it. There are dwarvish runes etched on it. The whistle is carved from a transparent crystal. It resembles a tiny dragon curled up like a snail.
Oh no.
I
no.
am just.
There are
as a rock today.
dwarvish runes on it. And you have the option to blow the whistle if you like.
No.
No. Bosch takes the whistle
and then
and hides it from the traveler and from the
the-
paladin.
Also, the candle is still glowing or still burning. It's just kind of wedged behind the altar right now.
Are there any sacred texts or anything like that near the or on the altar? Or is it only the whistle and the flask that were there?
It was only the whistle, the flask, and the candle.
And the candle is still burning, right?
Oh yeah, it's still burning. And in fact, when you pick it up, it's not hot. It doesn't burn or anything like that. It's just kind of sitting there, kind of flickering a little bit. You had a fantastic light show with burning bodies and candles during this entire ordeal.
Sorry, guys.
No problem.
So I want to investigate that little crackly thingy.
So it's a black fluid, but there's a halo of blue energy around it that's casting a light. And there's like electricity kind of dancing over the surface of it. And it smells, gosh, how to describe this? It smells like ozone.
Well, that
Smells like what?
burning dead.
Ozone.
Yeah. It's before you hit it with the lightning, it smelled almost like flowers. Now it smells like ozone. So yes, you have a strange crystalline whistle in the shape of a dragon, a puddle of strange magical goo, and a candle, and a bunch of dead bodies. What would you all like to do?
Search the dead bodies.
Actually, and really quick, and on the bodies, it's just kind of shredded armor, and those ceremonial swords. There really isn't anything of use. The armor's probably not worth anything, but the swords themselves are twice the book costs of a regular short sword. They're nice quality swords. If you gave them a little bit of treatment and cleaned them up, they're pretty nice. But they're etched in draconic with just whole kinds of iconography and dragon cult worshipping kind of stuff. So they might not be looked upon favorably in certain circles. Zariel, what would you like to do with this fluid that you have right here?
I think we should take some of it in a flask.
Ugh.
Well, I don't
Well,
have any empty flasks.
In order to get it analyzed, but I don't know if we've got
Oh,
anything
wait.
to carry it in.
Actually, I might be able to save the day. I still have that. Where is it?
Glob walks up to it and looks at it and goes, pretty.
I have that adorned flask that I took off that guy with the goblins.
Oh,
that attacked
yeah.
us on the road.
You could totally use that.
I will
Cool.
use that.
All right.
So I make the suggestion to them, but why don't we take this with and see what it actually is?
Glob asks, do you want me to see if I can figure it out real quick?
Sure, if you could.
All
Cross
right.
my fingers.
Okay. This would be a intelligence and Glob,
I'll assist them.
Glob takes a look at it and says, it's a potion. That's not for sure,
It's a potion.
but I can't tell you what the potion does.
Okay.
And I'm trying to remember, what did that scripture say again? So Glob actually looks at the inscription again and kind of, I'm going to make an intelligence check real quick. One last chance to figure it out. And all right. Glab's like,
Yikes.
"Eh, it's a person. I wouldn't drink it there."
No. Please don't.
You are with the flask that the traveler has and spoons from your mess kit. You can probably spoon this fluid into the flask. What is interesting, though,
Yeah.
is you have like 2 draughts of this fluid. So you think you probably have 2 usages of this particular potion.
Okay.
Okay.
We knew what it was.
An identify spell would help. Unfortunately, none of you have an identify spell handy. You could also just use it and see what happens, but who knows where that could go. Oh, and really quick, who is going to spoon this into the flask?
Well, I probably have the highest dexterity, so it should probably be me.
Make a dexterity check and roll a percentile die.
Oh God.
Dexterity check.
Good enough. This is actually pretty simple to spoon it in there. But now the percentile check.
All right.
What happens with that? That is
High or low good? Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah.
okay. So as you start putting this into the flask, you're kind of aware that your hand is kind of shaking and trembling a little bit. And then you're kind of aware that there's a prickling sensation kind of working its way up your arm. This increases as you spoon more of this into the flask. And it's not long after you have spooned most of this into the flask that you're keenly aware that the flask itself is glowing softly. And anyone who grips this metal flask feels electricity kind of going up and down their arm. And actually, you believe that if you were to try and throw this flask or do anything dexterous with this flask, you'd be at a disadvantage because there's just a little bit of electricity coursing through it. So very interesting side effect. Holding this flask, doing anything with it would be at a disadvantage if you were to throw it, catch it, etc.
Okay. That'll just go into my nice leather pack. And not see the light of day until it's absolutely needed.
All right. Oh, and so the goo in the fountain is gone. And you are again plunged into darkness. Well, except for the continual light candle, which you could stick into a bag if you want. All right. So with that, what would you all like to do?
Well, do we want to continue on with our original mission, going back to that room with the fire pit and the cage?
Let me take a quick look at that candle real quick. Just not that I mistrust anything that John says, but
Okay.
Where am I? I can't see me.
While we're doing this, we should probably go ahead and take a short rest.
Yeah, where did Vosh go?
Yeah.
I don't. Where am I?
Yeah, where did he disappeared?
It was an invisibility potion.
Oh, that's bizarre. He actually has disappeared off the map. I wonder if he accidentally got deleted. Let me put you. All right. Oh, and by the way, who has the whistle?
I
Vosh.
do.
Good to
Are they
know.
Invisibility.
Are they connected?
Dun,
All right.
dun,
Oh, jeez.
dun.
Oh, you killed him.
right.
I'm
Vosh
only
is
half of me.
It was an accident.
all
It was
right.
a transporter accident. I got splinched.
Vosh is
He-
actually not vampiric mist. There we go. All right, cool. All right, Vosh is back on the board.
Um, I'm part of me is back on the board.
Can you move yourself?
Yes.
All right, good deal.
Okay. I'm gonna move myself to the other room in terms of the little picture thing, but I'm looking at the little candle,
Uh-huh.
and where am I? Da da da. Let's see if this will work. There we go.
So you confirm what Glob was thinking. This is definitely a continual light spell on a candle.
Okay. Will putting it in the in my pack or anything ignite anything else in there, or is it just source of light?
It is just a source of light. It will not burn anything.
Let's take the candle because the whole show the way thing makes me think we might have a use for it down the road.
Okay, cool. Who is going to take the candle?
I will take it. If I die,
All right.
it's been fun knowing you all.
All right, cool. God, you know what's funny? Treasure is so fun because people don't trust that treasure is good. Everyone thinks treasure is bad. Yet you all go out looking for treasure anyways.
Previous experience tells us.
All right.
Sometimes it's booby trap.
Okay.
So at this point, you are all plunged back in the darkness. You now have an electrified flask, a continual light candle, a bunch of dead bodies, some ornate swords, and a whistle. A whistle.
Yeah, I can't
And
say.
no
It's like
hidden, no
whisk.
hidden stairways or anything fun.
Nope. When you
Oh.
were searching, you didn't see any secret doorways in the in the room with the sarcophagi.
Bummer.
Do we want to go ahead and take a rest here and just kind of mend our wounds and what have you?
It might be prudent. You've also Vosh has expended a good number of his spells as well, so a long rest would probably benefit him. And you guys have been doing this for practically a day now.
I've got to head out, so I got to call it here.
Oh, okay. Cool. Thank you for playing, and we will try to be kind to Vosh in the next half hour or so.
I hope so. Did you mean Zoriel?
Zariel.
I'm sorry,
yeah.
Zoriel. Sorry.
Was
Don't
what we
worry.
call a
Let the
Freudian
kobolds
slip?
eat you.
I'm looking at someone's character sheet and using it. Sorry. Yeah, Zariel will be taken care of.
I'm not nervous at all.
No, not at all.
All right, let me.
No
Whoa.
kobolds will eat you while you're gone.
What do you think?
Rats might.
Let's see.
Alrighty, guys. I'll talk to you all later.
All right, take
All
care.
right, be safe.
See you, bud.
And maybe Joe, like later on tonight, we can play some Fortnite. I just gotta
All
help
right,
out
sounds
around
good,
you.
man.
Right on.
All right.
Yeah. I am going to. I'm going to cast Cure Wounds. Does anyone need healing?
I'm down about
Nope.
10. I was gonna
Anubis?
use some or do some hit dice, but if you can heal me, that would be awesome.
Are you planning
Yeah,
on taking
let's-
a short rest or an extended rest?
I think we were
And
planning a
extended
short.
rest.
Oh, you want an
I-
extended?
Yeah, I'm pretty much depleted spell wise. I could probably
Okay.
Well,
just
then
so
maybe
that I'm
we
useful
could
to the party.
maybe we could just kind of make camp in the crypt here now that it's cleared.
Okay.
Just close the door and
Are you going to leave the bodies in the crypt?
fuck no.
Where are you going to deposit the bodies?
Let's drag them back and throw them down one of the rat holes.
Yeah,
Oh,
we can
there
just
you go,
toss them in the
perfect.
pits up.
Yeah,
up
rat
above.
hole sounds better than the potion filled font. So
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Yes.
All right, you dispose of the bodies in the pit.
I have a
Another.
common healing potion if anyone needs it.
No, save it for if we get into any kind of bad situation in a combat.
Okay, just saying.
Long rest
I'll
will,
Oh,
if we're
I'll
gonna
take
take a
first
long rest,
watch.
it'll replenish
Before-
all our hit points anyway. So
before we take the long rest, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on the Traveler.
Okay, Anubis is down 4 also.
All right. And when you guys camp in this room, an important question is, do you shut the stone door behind you?
No, I think we should not shut the door because
No.
I don't trust it. And second, I will sit in the doorway for first watch.
All right, cool. Okay, so the watches, we'll do that in turn order as well. What will the watches be?
Well, I'm
Well, I
first.
do my trance during first watch, and then I can join in whoever's doing every watch after that. So from second
Okay.
on, I'll be in it.
All right.
Anubis
Who
usually does third.
third? All right. Glop will hang out with you, and then actually, yeah, I'll trade that. Okay. So the watch order would be Kaya, Traveler, Zoriel, and Glop, and then Glob and Anubis. Okay, cool. And some cure wounds are thrown around. So anybody who was injured can top themselves off with those heals. Finally, did anyone want to, while you guys are down, I'll let you guys make another crack at identifying the items you've discovered. You can either use history, arcana, or intelligence to try and identify the 3 things you've come across. Those with those skills can make those checks, but they have to decide what item they're going to look at.
History, Arcana, or what?
Or intelligence.
I have no pluses, so I have nothing to add here.
Okay, you still have intelligence, so you can make an intelligence check. But you have 3 items: the candle.
Yeah, but I don't have a bonus on it.
Yeah. So does anybody want to identify any of the things?
I'm
I do.
gonna try to check out, even though it's not my best stat. I'm gonna try to check out one of these short swords.
Okay, cool. Does anyone else want to spend time during their long rest to work on or identify the items you have discovered?
Yeah, I would like to try to work on that whistle. I'll do an Arcana check again.
Yeah,
Okay.
were we told about the whistle, or is this something he's just looking at? So he said he was pocketing that before the Traveler could.
Oh yeah, you all know about the whistle right now.
So I can
Oh.
certainly take a look at it and see what I know or what I've heard.
All right. So you're working on the whistle 2 with Vosh. Actually 20 is good. And then Glop will use Arcana on the potion and see if there's anything about that. Okay. And Traveler. So first things first, the swords. They are actually of a quality that they could be enchanted. It is even possible that they were enchanted at one point but have lost their enchantments. But they are of high quality. It looks like the runage, the runes on these were evocative in nature, but there is no natural magic to these swords anymore.
Okay.
Anubis. So you're looking at the whistle, and looking at the Dwarvish rune. Sadly, none of you understand Dwarvish.
Mm-mm.
But something that does strike you, Anubis,
Mm-hmm.
is you remember at one point there was some lore about Druagar that made magical whistles that were allowed for controlling the undead. And you're just kind of connecting it because the chamber had undead in it. There's a whistle that's made out of crystal. You don't know the significance of the dragon part of it. They say that this was a cult, but there were magic whistles like this made in the past.
I'll just tell Vosh that for some reason I'm remembering just looking at it and kind of thinking on it that it seems to me like there are whistles that were made for controlling the undead. So it can't hurt to have it, regardless of.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm
And
gonna
then,
thank Anubis for that, and I'm gonna promise not to let the Traveler or the Paladin touch it unless we have no other choice.
And then while we're all gathered together, I'll just let you guys know those skeletons were calling us thieves. That's why I asked Vosh. That's why I asked Vosh if he thought that there was some other thing in this room that we were missing.
Hmm.
They seemed to believe we were here to take something important.
I'm gonna make another search using asking Bane for guidance. Last ditch effort.
all right, go ahead and
But my
roll it.
religion score is crap.
Can I
so we'll see
can
what
I
happens.
Roll it
can I
with
can I
disadvantage.
add anything to that?
Disadvantage?
If you, so it's disadvantage, but if you help him, it'll be a normal roll.
I would help him by calling on Oldamara to roll in our favor.
All right, cool.
All right. So
Go ahead and make
religion?
make a religion check.
Okay, hold on.
Sadly, Bane doesn't give you anything. This is kind of outside of his wheelhouse.
Gotcha.
All right.
I'm sorry. I'm having crappy rolls today, guys.
No problem.
We all are. The system just is hateful today. Now, Rob, did you hear me mention that? You were
Which
right
part?
there.
If
The
only-
fact that they were calling us thieves. They believe that there's something here worth taking. So just so you know.
Maybe it's already been taken.
It could also already have been taken, and it could be the things that we have. But I'm just
It could be the
letting
thing
you
that we
know.
destroyed.
Yeah, I'm letting the traveler know so that he can take a look for it. Just as one last thing before we leave this area and leave it behind us.
So you're gonna search the altar one more time?
Yeah.
All right. Who is going to search the altar? And you can essentially do that while you guys are doing your long rest too, because it's
Would that be an
someone's at the
investigation
doorway. Yes, that would be either investigation or
Insight?
investigation or insight. One of the two.
That whole
If only we could intimidate the answer out of the altar, I could help you.
What are your secrets?
man, I need to turn in my dice and just take up golf.
Oh no.
The altar again is this beautiful black obsidian with dragon carvings and relief, but there is nothing unusual about it as far as you can tell.
So
All right, let me make a quick wandering monster check. And... Oh, come here. Oh, for fuck's sake. There we go. All right, nothing happens.
So,
And then
well,
finally, oh, go ahead.
while everyone is sleeping on first watch, I have a little sacred looking item I picked up along the way. Tiny sacred thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna study it while I'm waiting to get hit by a monster.
Okay. What would you like to do? An Arcana, a history check, or anything like that?
The only good check that I have access to is perception. But what I actually want to know is there anything about the little sacred symbol that I picked up along the way that is familiar? Does it look like it belongs here? Does it match anything here? Is anything that I've seen so far been, related?
Go ahead and make a intelligence check.
Nope.
Nope. You do not tie any significance of this idol to this place.
Not that it matters, since I didn't
Yep.
really do anything. So when I went and dumped all of the bodies, I retrieved that one stack of rations and I gave it to Anubisan to give to her little new pet.
Oh, right on.
Oh, okay.
What's your new pet's name, by the way? That's actually a great use of the provisions.
Well, I've only known him for about 40 minutes, maybe an hour or two before our rest, so I'm not sure he had been named yet.
Hmm.
If you think about it, it's taken us 2 weeks, but I only met him
Yeah.
right
I haven't
outside
known
the
him
door.
so long. I mean, it's like a small dog right now. It's
Well,
a
and Rob
large
was
rat.
so hell bent on having a pet that and we haven't even had a chance yet for me to say, if he's interested.
Yeah. It's friendly to you. It like when you offer it food, it kind of stands up and reaches out.
Yeah, I'll just keep feeding him and hanging out with him.
Yeah, it's yeah, he is
What
he's
is
kind
his
of-
nature like? What name do I think he needs? Does he seem warlike yet, or is he just like a dumb little puppy still?
kind of dumb, puppy,
He's a rat.
inquisitive, and slightly skittish.
So
Skitter
The
doom.
food is good. The food
Yeah.
is good.
Skitter doom.
Well, I was thinking play on it because like I have a cat named Thor that's terrified of
Name him
all things storm.
Leonard Skittered.
Oh goodness, Leonard works, I suppose.
All right,
Maybe I don't even know why. It's just in psychic connection, somehow, somewhere, Leonard occurred to me for him. So Leonard it is.
All right.
And he's what we assume is like a 2-week-old or 3-week-old rat pup. He's still little.
Probably 3. He's pretty young.
Cool.
We have named the rat. Once it has a name, it can be killed.
Oh yeah, once you name it.
That's right.
Actually, if you give it stats, it can get killed. I think
That's
what
true.
Came up with. If you never give it stats, no one will ever be able to kill it because they won't know.
There you
Wasn't
go.
that the rule with what's his name in the one?
Yes, Harlequin. Yes,
Harlequin.
we don't give Harlequin stats because then the players could kill him.
Yeah.
The Traveler. Glob would actually like to look at the flask of strange electric fluid, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay. He takes it, and on his watch, he spends some time trying to figure out what it is. So first watch, it goes pretty quietly. There's still kind of calls and kind of creaks and pounds and bangs that happen inside of the sunken Citadel, but nothing that sounds like something is coming down the hallway to come and get you. Something I don't want to ask, okay, did you have the door just kind of cracked open, or is it wide open and you're just kind of sitting on the threshold
it's
watching?
open, and I am sitting on the threshold.
Okay.
Because
So
I don't want some asshole to come along and lock us in there.
You hear at one point during your watch the very distant sounds of combat, just like a Wilhelm call. You hear this in a distance, but it is definitely not nearby.
Interesting.
Yep.
I'll I'll let the next watch know that I heard that. But for all I know, it's rats fighting over some trash. I don't know.
All right. The second watch is uneventful.
Rats don't usually Wilhelm call though.
Yeah, they usually don't. Maybe people get Wilhelmed if they get ratted, but yep. So second watch is uneventful. Third watch, Anubis, you and Glop are kind of sitting again on the threshold. Actually, do you have the door cracked, or do you have it open and just kind of sitting on the threshold watching?
Same. We'll just hang out there in the threshold.
Okay. Traveler, are you going to be in the room or nearby hidden?
I'm going to be hidden in the crevice between the wall and the well, kind of keeping an eye up this hallway here.
All right, cool. Anubis, you and Glopper are sitting with your respective friends, Glop and Leonard. All the while, Glob is kind of looking at the potion. He's still on watch. He's trying to pay attention, but he has focused a lot of attention on trying to figure out this potion that Zoriel made. And at one point, he kind of gets a little bit on a spoon, and kind of looks over at Glop, who kind of looks up at him and kind of smacks his lips a little bit and kind of smiles. And
God.
he kind of shrugs and kind of dollops a drop into Glop's mouth. And he kind of leans back a little bit. Like in his mind, this is a dose that can't possibly be lethal.
Right.
Maybe.
You are startled when a bout of blue flame plasma, about 3 inches long, is kind of emitted from Glob's mouth. And it's actually kind of almost like a thunderous belch. Almost like an M80 went off right there, startling a lot of people awake.
Yeah, it probably woke some people up.
and like there's just kind of this moment where Glob is like, oh God, and Glop is like, thought this was the best thing ever. You're awake. Everyone else is awake towards the end of their watch.
Oh God.
It's a potion of dragon breath. You just don't know exactly what, because it looked like it could have been lightning, it could have been fire, it could have been plasma. You're not sure, but it definitely he coughed forth this kind of bolt of incandescent energy.
Well, that's useful.
It is, and you have 2 vials.
At which point, Glob is actually kind of terrified of what just happened. He quickly caps it and kind of sets it aside and checks. There's little scorch marks around the edge of Glop's face, but for the most part, he is not injured by this.
Entirely too delighted by it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just sitting there kind of like smacking its lips. Kind of like, like a cat that has something stuck in its mouth. It's like, God. And
peanut butter for Glops.
Yeah, and if you pet, and for a few minutes afterwards, if you pet Glop, there's like a little static kind of charge coming off of him.
Okay, well, once we finish up with this long rest, I do believe I'm going to approach Kaya and bestow her with this flask.
Oh dear.
I definitely think it would fit her barbaric nature.
All right then, thanks.
And I can't use it because, well, mask.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. To burn your head off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
You blow his head off.
I'm picturing the front of his mask hurtling through the air like some incandescent plasma projectile sticking into someone. It's going wing.
So what kind of damage do you get from a beak?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
Beak damage.
Have you actually tried using your plague mask as a weapon yet?
He has not said he has headbutted anyone yet, so.
No, but
True.
the inspirations are starting to flow into my brain.
I'm looking forward to arbitrating that action.
Maybe if a city guard gets a little uppity one day, but
And even with the noise of glop belching, no wandering monsters come by. You are able to finish your long rest unmolested or accosted.
Nice.
And Kaya, for now, we'll just say that you have a potion of dragon's breath on your person. Actually, do you want me to add that to your character sheet?
Yes, please.
All right.
Lame mouse.
Where do we
do anything?
Where do we click on our
Click
character
on
sheets
things.
so that we're rested? Does that
I'm
make
sorry?
sense? Where do we click on our character sheets to put in that we've rested, or renew our spell slots, what have you?
You in this version, you don't have the ability to kind of reset it. You'd have to go to your spell slot and just turn everything back to its normal amount.
Okay.
So yeah, each slot, like there's like spent and max, you can set everything to max.
All right.
Oh, and I should
Thank
do
you.
the same thing for Zariel because he's burned all of his spells. Hold on. All right, slots remaining 3.
Okay. Whoopsie.
Oh, didn't mean to do that. All right. And and essentially at this point, all of your spells are reset and all of your hit points are reset.
Okay. And our next game day, by the way, since it's 10 till 4,
Oh yeah.
is scheduled, according to our schedule, would be the 3rd of May.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's that close again.
Happy almost birthday to Sean.
Oh yeah, thank you.
It is.
Oh, yeah. Happy almost
2 weeks
birthday.
and a bit.
Oh, thank you. Yes, that would work for me. I don't have any big plans. I think there's a good chance we'll all be sheltering in place still.
Yep.
Not that we get left anytime soon.
I should
So
be good.
that works for me. Yep. All right, cool. Is there anything you guys wanted to do before we wrap up?
Have we killed enough rats and skeletons and such to ding?
No, not yet.
Just checking.
Well, while I'm between contemplating the little sacred item of mysteriousness that I get nothing on because I don't have any pluses for intelligence, and listening to some distant fight that might be rats or could actually be another party for all I know, I do need to do my roll to tithe.
Oh yeah, go for it. Traveler, are you going all the way there by yourself?
I'm just scouting the hallway, making sure everything's on the all clear.
Make a stealth check real quick.
Well, there you
Sorry,
go.
I'm being
Nice, well done.
okay. All right, so 1d6. Didn't... Okay, I tried to roll it. Why didn't it roll? What is wrong with this? Oh, okay. So 2% of whatever the hell it was I got for coins goes into the tithe pouch.
Nice.
All right, so that would be, hold on a minute. I'm scrolling. We did a lot of rolling.
Keep
I
rolling,
thought it
rolling,
was-
rolling.
Thought it was 14 gold and
Not yet.
14 gold and 200 and something silver. Do you remember, Rob?
It was.
Come here. Almost done.
I do have it written up. I just gotta remember
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Okay, it was 14 gold each and 300 and
It was-
and
Look at this
52
one.
silver each.
Yeah, it
You
was
see that one?
14 gold,
So
52 silver.
Want that one?
6%. And you give 1% or 6%, did you say?
I rolled the 6 and I got a 2, so it's 2%
Okay.
of 14 gold and
So that
whatever silver. What's the silver?
so that's 1.04 silver and it's only a quarter of a gold. So is that 25 silver?
2.5 silver, I think.
All right, so it's like 3.5 silverish, all told.
I'll put 4 silver into the tithe pouch. And I do this when no one's looking,
Right.
but that doesn't mean I'm doing it. I mean, I do it, while everybody's all getting ready to get to bed or whatever, and so you can see me do it.
Again, I gave your
If anyone
card, and
if anyone ever asks, I will explain. But it isn't something that I make a big deal out of, but I also don't keep it secret. I just, I
To the
assume if
casual,
someone
to the casual observer, it kind of looks like you're just counting your earnings so far.
I put your middle name. I guessed those. That's why I asked you to double check them. And you use this address, not your mom's, right?
Glob would probably ask you about that, Kaya.
Nope, it's saying no.
When you do that, Glob asks, well, why do you split up your treasure that way? Is it for balance? Oh, Kaya, am I muted? Shit, hold on.
No, I hear you.
Oh, you're not muted.
No,
You're here.
I can hear you.
Oh, did we lose Steph?
I don't know.
Oh shit,
Steph?
she did. Oh no. Oh, there you are. Oh, but you're still muted. Can we? If you right click and unmute can you unmute yourself, or are you still?
Okay, is that better?
Yes. Cool.
Oh, sorry, my computer just kicked everything went off.
Oh, jeez.
I went out of everything. I am no longer
Word it
in
out that it
anything.
don't like, so I'm just gonna leave
So,
it 'cause it keeps
I
erroring.
apologize.
No problem.
Anyway, well, I might still be in things. I just can't see them. Let's put it that way.
Right.
I might still be on Facebook. I can't tell. Anyway, as I was saying, if anyone asks Kaya what she's doing with the dice and the 2 bags of, 1 bag of coins that she pays shit out of and 1 bag of coins that she squirrels away, she will be happy to tell.
Oh,
It is a secret?
Are you actually rolling your gaming dice to determine what % you give to Oldamara?
Yeah.
Ah.
That's what the D6 is. I rolled a 6,
Got
I
it.
got a 2, it's 2%. So
When you do that, Glob actually noticed and asked, "Oh, is that a game you play with yourself? How do you know you're winning?"
well, it's not really a game, and it's not with myself. It's what I give to my god.
Oh, you have a patron too?
I don't have a patron the way you do. You have someone who helps you, right?
Yeah.
The gentleman that I met.
Oh no, that's not
when-
his boss.
When you say that, he kind of goes quiet for a moment, like he realized he said too much, and then he quickly says, "Oh yes, Corval. He is like my patron. He is a good friend."
Right, he's your patron. Because I'm gonna just overlook the fact that I almost could have gotten some information out of him. Because I've questioned him about this before. But I'm just gonna gloss over that because I don't want to freak him out or make him stop talking.
Yep. He it's not that he was horrified that he let something slip. it seems like well, actually, do you want to sense motive on him?
Yeah, sure. Roll that for me, will you?
All right. You make an insight check, and unfortunately rolled a 2.
Oh, great.
So you don't get much from him. He definitely is holding something back, but it's not. It seems just like a private matter, to be honest.
Okay. Well, we have. I know. I dimly remember talking to him before, and thinking that there's the guy that we met, but then there's also someone else where he gets his power from.
Yes.
So I know that they're two different people, but he doesn't talk about the guy that we haven't met.
Yes, and in a way, you could say that he might be kind of like a cleric. I mean, you've kind of seen something similar from Vosh,
Yeah.
though definitely operating on slightly different wavelengths.
So I'm just gonna kind of, and let him kind of keep his, hoping that he will eventually tell me more about his patron
Okay.
that I haven't met. So I'll explain that he the gentleman that we met that sent him on the journey with us, is kind of his patron who takes care of him, who he is learning from or whatever.
Got it.
But I tithe to my God, who I have met in a way a couple of times. But I'm not a cleric, so I don't have like regular conversations with him. I feel that it's important that I give to others as I was given to when Oldemar found me, and made sure that I had someone to look after me until I was old enough to do it for myself.
Oh, you're an orphan? An orphan like me?
Yes. My parents were killed when I was very young, and I lived on the streets for a while, and then I was found by Oldemara, and he made sure that Mistress Rainey looked after me, and she taught me lots of things, and I grew up much better after that in the casino, which was also a temple. It was a temple and a casino. You kind of have to know Oldemara to get I guess.
He kind of nods at this. He thinks some of the casino part of it's kind of over his head, but he gets temple and being raised at a temple and things like that. He seems to kind of, lack of a better term, glob onto that. All right. We're at 3:57. You have all completed your long rest.
Okay, so
And
we
the
reset.
traveler, the traveler ran up ahead and scouted down the hallway, and has not returned. Da da da.
That's no good.
Nope. So when we begin, the traveler is missing.
Yes, the traveler has traveled off the board.
Leap.
That's often
Smart ass.
happens.
Alrighty, you guys stay safe. I really mean it.
Yeah,
Of course.
And,
Ruth, I mean, again, so sorry for what your family has lost, what they're going through.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Sorry.
No worries. Like I said, it's the hardest thing for me is that they're 900 miles away.
Yeah,
And even if I was next door, I couldn't go and give my mom a
couldn't
hug
go
because
see
I
'em.
haven't had it.
yeah. I hope this was a good diversion. I hope it got your
Yeah,
mind off it. I hope this
absolutely.
got everyone's mind off of this shit for now.
Right?
And
Yes.
4-hour break.
yeah,
Sometimes you need to have some pretend to make
Yes.
the world better.
Absolutely.
And thank you for
Absolutely.
providing that, Sean.
no
Yes.
problem, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank
Thanks,
you
guys.
for playing, and
Which reminds
we will
me,
catch.
Sean.
Oh yeah.
Did
Yes.
you get my message on Messenger?
On Messenger. Just give you a heads up. Oh yes, I did. You guys. Well, okay. You guys are probably a couple months, maybe like 3 or 4 months from finishing this campaign. You're kind of more than halfway through it. If you guys wanted to finish this, or if we wanted to jump back into Rob's campaign, we could do that as well.
wonder if we could put ourselves on a 2 more sessions, blast our way through, and get you to help us speed run it. Because I would like to finish something that you started,
Hmm.
but at the same time, I don't want to put off Rob's either.
Yeah.
Well, it's entirely up to Sean if he wants to kind of fast track this.
I'm happy and having fun. If you guys are having fun, you guys are more than halfway through the campaign or this adventure at this point. Um, there's definitely a lot more combat to chew through. A lot more combat to chew through, but I am happy to continue on this track. But if you are all
So-
getting sick of kobolds and goblins, we can definitely
No.
go back to Rob's campaign or split time if we wanted to.
No, I feel like it's also giving us all a chance to get to know the personalities of the other players before we're back in Rob's campaign,
That's
where it's
true.
going to
Yeah.
sort of change a little bit because we've got a lot to catch Joseph up on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
We tried before and he was like, and then he just didn't show up. The next time he played, he was like, no.
Yeah.
you
In my
guys going on?
defense, there was some IRS
That's
stuff
right.
that kept me from there.
Yeah, we
No,
have
he
a.
did have some crazy stuff going on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how
No.
about we wait, Sean? It's really ultimately up to you, but how about we wait until we at least have all of us in the party to decide whether we want to try and zoom from fight to fight to try and finish this before we move on, or if we want to just put it on hold for the next hiatus.
I'm happy to run this. If you guys change your mind, we can put it to a group vote after the next
Yeah.
couple sessions, and see if we just
That's
want to
what I'm
continue through
thinking.
this. Yep.
So we'll start next week with it, because then Rob also knows when he'll need to be ready if we're going to put it on. We have 2 more sessions, or if we're going to be like, nope, this will be our last session or whatever. Then Rob at least has some notice too.
Some prep time. Yep.
All right.
All right. Cool. Well,
Okay.
awesome. Thanks, gang.
Thank you.
everybody.
Have a good
Appreciate
one.
it.
All right. Love
See
you
you
All right.
guys the
Take
3rd.
care,
Is
be
that what
careful.
was that what she said? The 3rd?
The
Yep.
third.
Second
see you
or
the 3rd.
third.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. The third. Yep. All right. Take care, everybody. Stay safe.
Later,
You
guys.
too, man.
Take care.
See ya.
Bye.
Later.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.